post a picture. Wacko. Oh,
Clickety,
looks like we're
clickety,
live.
Clickety, click.
Clickety click. Clickety click. Anyway, welcome to the Arcade Hangout. I have no music. I have no bell. I have no nothing. Here we are.
Are you still in your daughter's room there?
No, I'm in my own, but this is my bedroom.
Oh, your bedroom. Okay.
Yeah, well, the magic doesn't happen. But the good news is my daughter just is now walking without her boot or her walker. She's walking around normal.
Yeah.
Well, not normal. I mean, she's walking around and she's trying to get her muscles back in her legs. So I think she'll hopefully, I'm hoping within a week or two. Yes, I'll have my office back. Yes. So,
outstanding. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited. So anyway, welcome to the Arcade Hangout, everybody. Episode 225, right?
225.
Which I can't believe we're that many episodes. And still in season 1. And yes, we are the longest running live arcade podcast. We still do talk about arcade games and multimedia and PC gaming and all sorts of stuff. And boy, was Instagram boring to look at today. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's just generally been a boring media day.
It's horrible.
Nothing's happened.
Yeah.
I even feel guilty posting something.
Yeah. Well, I know. It's like, yeah, I
almost didn't. But I have to keep up with my days of movies. I'm doing those stupid things where they ask you a question for each day. And today's question was, I haven't been sharing this, so this is my first time.
Wait, what is this days of movies thing you're talking about?
Maybe you want to do it with me, but I'm on day 5 and let's see, hold on a minute. It's like a list. It's one of those kind of lists, like I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. 30-day challenge.
Yeah, so like the first one is like what's the first film you remember watching? I put Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That's the one I can remember being really little and seeing in the theater. Let's see, day 2, a film that you like that starts with the first letter of your name, which is my name, Steve. And reality, not interwebs. It's not mock, but Steve. So I put Snowpiercer, which is a great movie. Andrew, we got to watch that one together someday. Yeah. A film that has more than 5 words. I put It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. And day 4.
That almost feels like cheating.
Yeah, I know, right? That's like when someone goes, like, you got to do a 100-page report in 3rd grade. You go, yeah. I was very, 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 very tired. And
right, exactly.
When I got up, I was really, 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 really sleepy.
My favorite.
And I had a really long day.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah.
That's a song, not a movie, though.
Yeah.
Okay. History of the World Part 1.
That's what I said.
Oh, very good. Great minds.
So for day 4, name a film with a number in the title. I bet 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Nice.
And let's
12
see
monkeys.
what else.
Yeah, 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys, that would have been good too.
And are you like posting these to like some sort of social media?
Just Instagram, just because I'm
Right.
Day 5, a film where a character has a job you want. I put Egon as Ghostbusters. Hey, that'd be fun, right? And today's was that day? Oh wait, where's day 6? Oh, day 6. What's your favorite animated film? I kind of was I didn't know what to put. I really like Yellow Submarine just because I like the Beatles, even though the Beatles didn't voice those characters, but cute little animation of the Beatles there with the little submarine flying by. La, la, la,
nice.
la, la, la. Okay, and then the last one, Andrew, like this, day 7, a film that you'll never get tired of. I put Big Trouble in Little China. And I put a Raiden there, like shooting lightning up.
Nice. That would have been my 5-word.
Oh, I almost put it for that. Yeah. So. I don't look ahead to the other ones. I just take them each day just to make it, more interesting. And since it's movie related, I thought it was kind of fun.
More of a challenge because you can't go back and say the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, I should have said this. I should have said that.
Right.
It's like, oh, I should have saved this for this one.
Yeah.
Ah.
I have
Yeah,
like
good point.
6 people that look at my Instagram, so that's for them.
What's Instagram?
I'm not hip enough for Instagram. That's for the kids. That's for the kids
Oh.
like you, Mock.
The kitties.
I'm too old for that Instagram stuff.
Yeah, I had to put in a fake age or it would kick me out.
Exactly.
Tweetstagram.
You're too old here.
Yeah.
Someone sent me something called TikTok. I'm like, what is this? Why can't I open it? It's like, I don't know what this program is.
TikTok's kind of like Vine.
Virus.
It's like little short, little,
It's
Yeah.
virus. Yeah. I think
short,
it is
little
the
silly
virus.
videos. Yeah.
Oh, Vine, not virus, but yeah, it's still funny.
Yeah.
It's a little bit viral.
Yeah, it's kind of like little viral
Yeah.
things. So I have a retraction
Ooh.
to make.
Wow, already.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, wow.
that was
Damn.
quick.
On my grind my gears segment last week,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Uh-oh,
I was corrected by someone.
I
No. Which
the
is
Disney
grinds your gears
lawyers
too,
got
huh?
you.
Yes.
Oh,
No,
so
I
in
was
other words,
okay.
Brian Frober had something to say.
No, it was actually Slick Nick. Slick Nick contacted me, and he listened to the show later, and he was laughing at my ranting segment.
Oh, that was the best part.
And he goes, well, thanks. And he goes, here, check this out. And he sent me a link, or not a link, a screenshot on the Disney Plus page. So now when you go to Simpsons, I don't know when they did this, but when you go to Simpsons to go watch it, there's 2 choices: widescreen, original 4:3.
Perfect.
Ta-da! Now all I gotta do, yeah.
This is
Well,
exactly what I
But they
want.
did that. They
Yeah,
did that
to the adult
minutes
stuff.
after your rant.
Right.
Yeah, they did it
Yeah,
because of my
they
rant.
listened. Exactly. They
This is the
heard it. They
power-
responded.
The power
That's
of this
right.
podcast. We've
Yeah, one of our 4 viewers is Disney.
yeah.
Well, if that's true, then let me put another rant. Change Pirates back to the way it was. The ride. Thank you.
Oh,
All right.
I would vote for that too.
Put the
Yeah.
good stuff back in Splash.
Yeah, I want to see Daryl Hannah's ass when she was 20. So that furry hair mop they put over it. Wasn't that weird?
Yeah, that ass merkin.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. the reverse-
Hula
what's the-
CGI hula skirt of hair that didn't even line up with the other hair, and it's going different ways, like this.
She's a regular Chewbacca.
Yeah, I mean,
As
butts
she
are
runs
pretty.
away, that's what
Butts
you
used
hear.
to be really innocent, and now they've become such a sexual object.
Butts
I guess.
used to be innocent.
Yeah, because like the top, was it? What was that?
She had such an innocent ass back
What's that
then.
suntan lotion? Does it try to say Tropicana? What's the-
Tropicana? Or no?
No,
Coppertone.
Coppertone.
Yeah.
The one.
Oh,
that
right.
had-
With the little girl with the
a
dog.
little
and
girl
the-
that was
Yeah.
supposed to be Jodie Foster, by the way. Yeah, and the dog. Yeah, that's a trivia thing. It was supposed to be the artist was using her as a guide. But anyway, it shows her butt and the dog pulling down on her underwear, on her bathing suit. Over the years, they drew a line or drew a flesh color over the butt, so it's just a smooth, like I don't know, a smooth butt. And then they raised up the bathing suit, and then eventually they just got rid of it altogether because it's just so.
And
Such
she's just naked?
controversy, yeah, because of
Oh,
the
not-
little girl's
The
butt.
little
you
girl's
know?
gone, not the bathing suit.
Yeah, so butts now have gotten so like
We got a show title.
anti.
Guilty
That's what-
butts.
Where's Gleek when we need a butt
Here's my
shoulder?
other rant. Butts are just are just too controversial nowadays. Where
I wish I had the Pee Wee soundbite. Let's
we
talk
got to
about your
just
big
cover them
butt.
all. So the Splash, we're not allowed to see Daryl Hannah's butt like we did when she runs it. It's only like a split second too.
No
You know.
Coppertone butts.
It's not that I want to see her butt. It's that I'm tired of censorship.
It's
I don't want
Yeah,
censorship.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
get
if I
where you're
want
coming
butts,
from.
I could just go on, Pornhub, right?
It's-
You get all the butts you want there.
you could probably find a clip on Pornhub of the original Splash scene.
It doesn't even
Just like a loop
Yeah.
of her butt for like 12 hours.
You don't even have to go to Pornhub. Just type in nude butt on Google, and you'll have your fill.
No, but Daryl Hannah butt. You could actually go
Yeah.
see that
Oh, yeah,
specific butt if you wanted to see that butt. It's not an issue of
With
that
whatever
butt.
face you want pasted over. it.
Yeah, deep fake.
Yeah, deep fakes are coming. We'll have anyone's face with a butt
Yeah, that's wild.
and more.
So I'm just tired of censorship. I don't want to see some. I mean, I don't know. It's you give a company an inch and they'll go a foot. So what's next? You know, if it's what if the movie has something that's political that the president doesn't like or something and orders them to remove it out of the movie? And, you know,
Well, he went remove a butt. We know that, especially
No.
a kid's butt. Yeah.
Well, thank
Oh,
God
is
he's
that getting
religious.
Well, as long as it's certainly not his daughter.
Yeah.
He's got God on his side. That's
Yeah.
So he's
Bible.
and there was
the
a
cheeseburger god.
there was a great link someone sent me on YouTube that's just 20 minutes of like people getting thrashed by police during the protests.
Yeah.
I
there was a whole
couldn't
thing on
believe the
Twitter
stuff
about
I'm
that.
watching. Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't. People getting shot in the face with the projectiles, and this one lady's walking home with her groceries. She gets shot, and there's just blood gushing out of her head. I'm like, oh my God. Or this old man who's like got a cane. He's waiting by the bus stop, and he doesn't even realize that the protest's going on. It looks like, and they walk up to him in riot gear, and they shove him so hard he goes flying. And then they realize, oh shit, I just pushed a 75-year-old man. You know, so, and then they help.
I
him
just
up.
saw
It's like, my
on
God.
the news
Well,
that
'cause you
like
gotta remember when you're going in
the
with
CNN
hydrant-
crew got arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I saw that too. Yeah, crazy. And he said over and over again, "I'm with CNN. I'm with CNN. Come with me, sir." He's like, he was actually scared. He said, he goes, "I don't know what they're going to do to me, or where they're going to take me, or what they're going to do." You know. But they released him in an hour or so. But still,
Well,
it's
it's
like,
CNN. They'll
Yeah,
just replay that same thing for the next 2 months.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
we
there's
still
a
have
press
a curfew in
photographer who
effect.
got
Yeah.
shot in the eye.
yeah.
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 Oh,
that
God.
was. Ew.
I got pissed at the one where the cops shot the people that were standing in their doorway of their house, and the cops are like
Yeah.
walking the streets going, "Get inside, and they're just standing in the doorway, and they pull out they had paint guns in this one, and they're shooting paint pellets at them. Pop, 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 pop. And the girl
Pepper
screams,
pellets.
"Ow!" Was that? Well, they're green. Is that what they are?
They're shooting pepper pellets. I don't think the
There's
police...
also rubber bullets.
I know
the
there's-
rubber
it wasn't
bullets
rubber.
are
These are
an
paint
inch and a
because
half.
you
But
can see the paint in the video clip that's
Oh, okay.
spattered.
Oh, okay.
they're also using pepper
Yeah.
balls, which are just balls of basically coarse
That would
non-food
be
grade.
good.
Mm.
Yeah.
They hurt more than
Paprika.
a
And supposedly they're supposed to the rubber rounds.
paintball.
They're,
Some
Ow, my
sage.
eye.
they're supposed
One
to
more.
shoot. They're supposed to shoot those at an angle, so they bounce off the ground first, and then hit you in the
Oh.
leg or the
Hmm.
stomach. But they always just aim right at your face. Bah, 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 bah. So it's
Yeah, that's
like,
they're trained by the military, so of course they do.
I would never go to a protest just on the scary chance that I lose my eyeball over there. You know,
Yeah.
because a lot of people have lost their
It's
eyes.
The people who are doing the riots, it's not
Goggles.
the protesters. Their protesters are behaving. It's the people that turn it into a riot that it's
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate.
And a
because
lot of
it's
them are
hard.
out of staters. They're not.
It's
local.
hard,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
to
agree
with that.
protest when you got people throwing rocks and water bottles at the
Mm.
police because they're not going to dig that. So that's why they lash out. And
Yeah.
you know, and then there's also on the flip side of that, there's also police that just decide to ram through without anything being thrown at them. They just ram through. So
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just-
That was
it's
the whole
just
thing that was
fuck-
exploding on Twitter. At least the thing that I saw.
Yeah.
From a Reddit post, but basically it was like the FBI was basically asking for videos of people who were committing, violent atrocities during these demonstrations, and then someone just started sending them a litany of just like police videos of police doing bad stuff.
oh yeah,
Basically,
the worst
like
one.
if you want to go after someone, go after the fucking police because they're the ones causing the problems.
and they all
Oh,
turning their
hold on.
True.
Let's let Dave comment on this one.
and they're turning their
Audio.
camera off on their chest too,
from
which I
from
thought was
inside
pretty
his
fucked.
bathroom. No, I was in the
Uh,
dark.
Well, that's scary.
Yeah.
He looks-
He's riding the back of his son's Hot Wheels.
He's Zordon from Power Rangers. Rangers.
He's illuminated by the
Rangers.
soft glow of a poker game.
Zordon.
Dave, were you kicked out of the house again? Like, do you need to come move up here?
So
He's
the
like,
wo-
oh, this is the wrong crowd. I was
Yeah.
expecting to see 7 other people.
Yeah, I thought this
This
was a
isn't
poker
poker.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like poker at all.
Wrong
Oh,
link.
this isn't the
Shit.
poker crew. Shit.
Dave,
Yeah.
this isn't the poker
This is
group.
all
huh?
wrong.
That's the other screen, dude.
The bet's to you.
Poker's up there.
So I have one more video to ask if you guys have seen. Did you see the one where the police are coming down and there's people kind of standing off to the side and they're telling everybody to move down the street, these two people are kind of like move out, and then the police keep going, and there's another group of people, and they just decide to arrest those two, and they take this guy. He's got a red shirt on, and they throw him to the ground to arrest him. He's just standing there. He didn't throw anything, or he was just standing there. So they start arresting him, and one of the guys that has one of the rifles that shoots the rubber bullets, or he goes right up to him, aims it at his back, and goes pop, and shoots him in the back. It's like
Jesus.
point blank range, and then everybody starts screaming, what the fuck? What are you doing? What the fuck? I was just like, holy shit! Imagine the pain of that thing shooting you that close up, because it like puts a hole in you too. So it's like, yeah, you just.
Did you see one of the Australian film crew?
No.
So yeah, there was an Australian film crew who were apparently doing a live show, and they were just shooting, down on the scene of cops. The cops had, just riot gear stuff and the round helmets, and all of a sudden they just decided to basically charge and push the crowd back. And it was a pretty sparse crowd. It wasn't, well, it was medium sparse. It was not like
100 people,
compact, crowd of people.
Yeah.
But they just started charging the people and pushing them back. But like at some point, like the dude behind the camera, like the cop just basically runs up and just fucking punches him.
Oh, wow.
And then people started posting videos from different angles of what happened. And basically this little tiny, like midget cop.
Little person.
Yeah, little person.
Dwarf.
I was actually trying to be more offensive to the cop than
okay.
It's a little.
He was a midget.
He's a midget. He's a jerk. He's one of the bad little people. Anyway, no, he comes running in the corner, and he hits the guy with a camera, who's clearly like a big camera, not like a little like
like with the news.
Like I'm with the fucking news here. Yeah, and he like you see the dude like basically hit the dude in the stomach with his shield, and then they drag him off of like where they're at, kind of around a corner, and another cop hits the female reporter in the back with a baton. Now it's in her backpack, is like basically where he ends up hitting her, I think, but still, fucking baton just
whack,
as they're running away.
Yeah, they're
like
trying
this
to
is
get
not
away.
like they're being confrontational. It's like they're like, get me the fuck out of here, and a cop still parting shot. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What is this?
I found it interesting that every single state had somewhere protesters. Every state in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this since I was unborn during the 70s for the hippies.
Well, it's not even that. You got other countries doing it now. It's not just the states. It's the other countries.
Protests in Montreal, Canada, and they're doing a peaceful march in Ottawa on Friday, which I have a bad feeling about.
So San Diego.
They protested in Germany.
That's crazy, really?
Like how bad is it? How bad is your racism when Germany is like,
what the fuck?
Is bad berries,
yeah.
Right? Like I can just say that because I'm German.
It's okay. It's okay because you're German.
Yeah. I'm like 99%.
Like Germany is like the land of racism.
Yeah. Actually, Russia is too, in a very big way from when I visited there.
Yeah.
It's bad all over.
Yeah,
it's the real lesson.
Yeah. Can't we all just sing Kumbaya?
On a lighter note.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
how'd you guys like that movie night?
Carrie wants to see heavy metal again.
We got to do a cartoon night, apparently.
Right? Yeah.
That was a bonus. The little triple feature thing. That was not actually. Well, I didn't even expect that we were going to finish watching that, but we did.
Yeah, Tim and I were wondering if you guys actually finished watching.
We did a lot. Some people dropped out, like Josh and.
Yeah. I dropped out after what was the second movie on Saturday?
Top Secret.
Top Secret. Yeah. I had to go to bed after that.
Yeah, I was late for you.
You got 3 time zones away. Case in point, Carrie has some lovely sunlight going across her right now, and all I have is
well, you didn't on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, first movie
Oh.
was Airplane. The second movie was Top Secret, and then we did Heavy Metal. I don't know. We just threw that on just so we were chatting, and then we ended up just watching it.
Exactly. So someone said something, and I was like, I just started clicking around on stuff, and then eventually,
you put it on to vex me. It's fine because I was dissing cartoons.
Well, we were hoping to convert you during it, and then it didn't work.
Yeah, and I think Mock was like, "Yeah, and it's an anthology. You
Your
hate those
favorite.
too."
Oh,
exactly my favorite. So, I'm like,
So Jim didn't make you watch My Little Pony?
Huh?
Are you outing Jim as a brony?
I'm pretty sure he is.
You're pretty sure Jim's a brony?
Wow. Yeah, that sure.
Cool.
I've
never watched one of those.
Yeah.
Terrible.
In fact, I didn't even know that term until
Okay, it was a shitty joke. Come on. Go back to bashing my typing.
And apparently I'm a porn addict too.
Grammar.
Yeah. That's too easy. Yeah.
That's too easy to bash where you live. Yeah.
Hey, Ottawa's not on fire.
What's going on with Zordon?
I think he's still trying to figure something out there, or what?
Muted. He keeps popping in and popping out, and
yeah, right. But in a creepy place,
he's sitting in the Power Wheels.
I think
right.
he's
Does
trying
he
to
have
use
cookies
the
in the fridge?
phone number link. Maybe no.
Oh, he's on his Nokia.
It's a 4x3 ratio.
Hey,
yeah.
Hello. Where are you in your car?
He's on his flip phone, his Razor.
What do you think happened? What do you think happened?
You lost everything, and
power's out.
Poker and
your wife kicked you out.
I dragged the whole family. I dragged the whole family in the basement. I thought there was a tornado over the house.
What? Really?
For real? That's what happened?
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. There was so much hail. It sounded like a freight train was at my. It's gone now, but it were total pitch black. But at least I know my water backup sump pump works. I'm like, wait,
hey, I can still hear it in the background going away.
No, I'm upstairs because I have to use the cell to call in to Zoom instead of using Wi-Fi, and I wanted to get and then because I'm downstairs, I'm like, who's taking a shower? Why is the water being? And I'm like, the water backup pump's working. Which is good.
Geez.
No, because I'm supposed to test it, but it's working, so it's getting the water out.
Oh,
well, there you go. There's a test.
And
so wait,
is there
danger
inbound,
for
buddy?
water in your basement right now with all your games?
Well, yeah, they're off, but the water backup sump pump's working.
No, I know, but I mean, is there water intrusion in the game room?
No. But what happens with the sump pump when it's heavy rain? There's like a drainage around the foundation of the house, and it all pitches to the sump pump, and then you hear it kick on with the electric. But since there's no electric, and then right next to my desk down there is the water pipe, like the water line. I hear it clicking like someone's like taking a shower, and then I'm like, oh, it is on. Like I thought it was going to be louder when it kicked on because I never. The only time I think I've tested it like 3 times over the years, just poured water in it just to make sure it works because it's higher than the regular sump pump. So when the other thing dies, the water goes up a little more, then the water backup works, which this is the first time since I think I've had the thing installed that it actually, because we never lose power. And lightning was over our house and there was so much hail. I looked out the window and I'm like, and I saw something about a tornado and like my son and wife were asleep and I'm like, we got to go in the basement because I cannot see outside, and this is crazy. It's just, yeah, it was like that.
Nice.
So now I'm by flashlight. The Harbor Freight blue light is my light, and then but at least my phone was charged.
At least you can play poker on your phone.
No, yeah.
Obviously, it's amazing you are showing up right now, but also I'm surprised you and your family are all right.
Yeah, they're safe.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was just crazy because it was like, but it went away as soon as I got him in the basement. I'm like, all right, we're good. It blew away. And Julie's like, what happened? I go, I couldn't see outside the window, and it was that loud. And I'm like, it's hail. I'm like, this is crazy weather.
Jesus.
Oh, man. You gotta change that.
Hell no.
Yeah. you gotta change that so you can change your name, Dave from California.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave, I just downloaded
Earthquakes are fun.
Yeah. We only get them a couple
And,
times a month.
My screen every
Right, yeah, exactly. It's
screen
nature's
every now
roller
and then
coaster.
flashes up because there's lightning.
Yeah.
My screen is so.
Here we go! Yay!
Yay! It's an e-ticket, right? We don't
Yeah.
get it for free.
I put a fan on my face and go, "Yay! It's a ride."
Did you hear that apparently some amusement parks are opening, and I think the one in Japan, one of the conditions is that there be no shouting or screaming. Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were saying on the news, like, how would you? I don't know how you'd enforce that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're Japanese, they would probably, the Germans, they would figure out a way to do it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, very stoic.
It's just you just see a roller coaster full of people like screaming around the track. Silence.
Silence.
If everybody's wearing face masks,
Wouldn't
they
that be
can
weird?
scream. Let 'em
Yeah,
scream.
exactly. Maybe that
Yeah.
would be it. Like if you
Yeah.
can, if you have to scream, you have to be wearing a mask.
You should be just wearing a mask anyway.
It should be, at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
God, people that don't. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, it's time for another rant.
I think we've already been political, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just get angry when I
Yeah.
went out shopping this weekend with my wife, and it was like a Costco, and when I'd say like 98% of the people in the place had a mask, and I wish
Oh, nice.
a governor or senator or somebody would make it mandatory. Just say if you're out in public,
Same here.
wear a fucking mask, you fuckers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is mandatory in buildings. Isn't that throughout the state, or is it just?
I thought it was, but there's people in there that are like, I'm not wearing one. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
I do
thought
what
it
I
was
want.
state- I
So
thought it
city-
was
That's
city-
state.
slavery.
City and County of Denver requires masks inside any public building.
all-
But if I go like to Lakewood, which is like where basically like Xyla, where hyperspace was, like that's just a few blocks that way, and I go into a store there, it's like the Home Depot. I actually was in there buying stuff to get the swamp cooler running, and yeah, like maybe half the people wear a mask because it's not required there.
Wow. I thought California was statewide, and San Francisco did over the weekend. Mayor Breed made it so that it's mandatory to wear them even outside now, because they tried doing the 6. It's supposed to be if you're recreating, if you're outside and you can stay 6 feet away, you don't have to wear a mask.
Right.
But I think in San Francisco it's so densely populated, and people are complaining about people, jogging and walking and all that. And then she was just like, 30 feet. If you were going to be within 30 feet of someone, you have to wear a mask.
Wow.
In other words, just wear a fucking mask.
Yeah.
Bottom
Yeah.
line, if you step outside your house, but because my daughter lives in San Francisco, and she was complaining of that, of feeling like there's just so many people. It's hard when you're outside to avoid folks.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
It's weird when I see stuff like too, where my wife and I are walking through and we see a couple, and you see the wife with the mask and the man doesn't have one. He's like,
What a dick.
I don't have to wear one. It's a fucking, I'm going to be a slave. I'm not afraid. It's all a farce. It's it's all a hoax.
I've gotten to interpreting it as people just
From
giving you a
2020.
finger.
Sorry.
You walk through like a grocery store, and like every so often there's someone not wearing a mask, and to me, I take it as someone just giving me the finger.
Yeah, that's what I said to my wife. I go, every person I see here without a mask, I want to punch in the face.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
And at the same time, the people that are wearing the masks, I almost want to thank them.
Mm-hmm. Because they're doing it for you, and I'm doing it for them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a community, and it's nice to see that it's at least 98%. But
Mhm.
maybe it's a thing where they are supposed to wear it, Carrie, and they just aren't. They're just like, come get me.
Could
Buildings
be, but
shouldn't
like,
let them in.
But like, yeah, no, like stores, like Home Depot, like had a sign up front where it's like, you can't, you're supposed to wear one, they're recommending it. Sorry, Home Depot didn't, but like liquor store I actually went to tonight, like they had a sign up front, like you can't come in if you don't have a mask, like no shirt.
There you go.
No shoes, no
That's
service.
fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
that
you
is
can't come
it is
in.
helping too. I
Yeah.
mean, it is helping to drop the curve of the amount of cases.
Jesus Christ, it's such a minor thing.
It's so
It
it's
really
such a
is.
no-brainer
Political.
too.
Yeah, it's not.
And you
comfortable,
don't
but, like,
need a
Jesus
specific
Christ.
mask. You just like people like using scarves or whatever fabric. It doesn't.
It's
See,
big
most-
business here in New York.
Yeah.
Everybody's making them now. It's like a
Yeah.
fashion statement. I'm like, oh god. I prefer the paper ones. but they do smell if you don't change them.
Yeah,
You can't wear the same one. They smell like you would, like, I ate like shit. They smell like steak subs.
Smells like meatball sub.
No, I'm right there with you. Like Saturday morning,
salami.
A Saturday morning, I got up early because like Alfie wanted to go out for a fucking pee like first thing in the morning, and I didn't brush my teeth before I left, and I threw my mask on, and like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, oh God,
I stink.
oh. I'm just gonna like fill the mask with barf. Just, like, my own morning breath is just
as Jim says, it smells.
Yeah,
it smells.
Yeah. So brush your teeth, little Bactine, maybe mouthwash.
Yeah.
Especially if you have an N95 or one of those, you don't burp. Don't burp.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Exactly.
Treat yourself. Some Gold Bond in there. Wish it around.
Oh yeah. It's minty.
I wonder if it's minty, just like how it feels.
It's like giving the abominable snowman a fucking blowjob. It's great.
It's like eating a York peppermint patty.
When you bite into one, I get the sensation of jumping off the ski jump. Yeah.
Ski jump.
Yeah. You remember that one where he's like on the couch? Yeah. And the wife's like, oh, Ed, or whatever his name. Yeah.
I remember Nesty every time they drank when they fell in a pool.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I remember that too.
They'd always drink it and they'd go, ah! There's always a pool there.
It actually sounds good right about now.
Where'd the pool go?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
So, hey,
if we're picking like worlds of like commercials to go to, I'm still gonna go with the Double Mint.
Doublemint twins.
Hot twins.
Harry got it.
I got it. I know where your mind goes.
That's same though. I want same different.
Yeah.
One of them likes anal.
Well, in that case.
No penis.
That's just a variety.
You got to figure out which one.
Spice of
life. Yeah, that's the deep. Yeah.
Is this poop?
Oh.
No, it's finger paints, kid. Oh God.
Sorry, Carrie, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's funny.
Oh no. Well, no, actually, I was leaving the commercial thing because I was like, hey, Gino, I don't know. I don't know if you can tell us. Do you have any inside intel about CAX and whether or not it's getting canceled?
No, I've been checking. I haven't talked to
How
John.
the fuck can that event even? Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. I just don't see how. I mean,
sounds like I got to start a new thread on Clav and say, "Fucking CAX."
Don't even bother.
We're capping the entrance to 100, and the ticket prices are now 500. So.
Yeah. Just bring one game.
Yeah.
Every corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big room.
4 people can be in the lobby at the bar.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I'm wondering about some of our events. What's happening, because doesn't look good from now.
No.
But it's okay. It's COVID. I'd rather be safe and everyone else be safe. And let's just skip a year and get things back to normal in a year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Now, didn't Steve at Drinkers make a bunch of changes recently as far as going all membership and now it's not open to the public anymore?
He did that a while ago.
Well, no. He stepped it up. Carrie posted about this, I think, in Slack was the first time I saw that stepped up, but like he requires like a 1-year membership now.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's doing like the protections, so the social distancing thing in there when they
every other game.
Yeah, when they do
every other game, really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a reserved time, kind of like.
I hope there's like bottles of like hand sanitizer around, because you're touching games the whole time. Yeah. So I'd hope they'd have that around.
They require latex gloves on everyone, maybe. That'd be another possibility.
Yeah. No.
But man, your hands would be so
much
sweaty.
sweat. It would just be full of water.
Oh,
yuck. After Jim plays eyes for like 5-6 hours.
I'm sure my time limit would have expired.
Your fingers are like banana peels of like rubber.
Oh, gross.
How am I supposed to play Street Fighter like this?
Yeah.
Only CPU. I can't play against anyone else.
Yeah.
Would gloves be considered performance-enhancing equipment?
I don't know, Clint. Would they?
That's your question
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
answer to us.
I've seen some nibbler world record holders use a wear glove when they go after it. And I think George Lutz, the Kubert world record holder, he wore a glove, but he did.
I think that was in that documentary, The Man versus Snake. I think somebody was wearing a glove in that.
What about a sock when you go to play
Yeah,
720?
the sock for 720. Yep.
That's what's his name?
Jeff C.
Jeff C.
Yeah.
Yep. It's got that stash of the dress sock because it's got the best slippy.
Yeah.
feet on it.
Speaking of world records, did you guys see the post that Walter Day did yesterday?
Mm-mm. What did he do? What did he post?
Yeah, great piece of arcade news here. Walter Day is officially announcing that he wants to do a trading card series on the games, and the more abstract the game, the better. And he would like he's called out to all of the gaming community, and he wants full length pictures, full length photos of as many different arcade games as you can get with somebody who is not on a trading card to be posing next to it. And the first thing that came to mind to me was Jim and the Eyes Cabinet.
Yup.
That would qualify, yeah, for sure.
And Jim needs his own card too.
Yeah,
I'll go
yeah.
pick up a dress.
Jim definitely needs a card, and I don't know even if they're making new cards of those anymore. I mean, if people like John Jacobson have their own card, Jim definitely needs his own card. You know, because what does John accomplish? Besides
I'm gonna buy
besides
like a
his
movie
show.
size frame, like a movie poster size frame for a card that's this big.
Yeah.
It's a 24 by 36 like poster frame.
Yeah.
I mean,
with a
those
giant mat in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with a
Jim.
little
I mean, those cards are
front
for
and the
people
back.
with accomplishments. So you
Yeah.
know, Jim definitely should have one for that.
Yeah, but Clint was saying
And
that
Andrew
this
could
is-
have one
this
for
is what people
Rostan.
don't have. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing
I mean,
I have that's official.
This is
I love
trading
Jerry,
cards. The
but I
trading
don't
cards are
understand why he
focusing
has a
on the
card.
game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the trading cards are focusing on the game.
Mhm.
So the game is going to be the focus of the card.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
But Jim
yeah,
should
there's
own the eyes
going to
card.
be, but they would like to have a person pose next to it that's not currently on a trading card. So Jim would qualify. I would qualify. I'm not on a card yet.
That's kind of
Hernley,
fucked up too.
David Hernley would probably qualify. He's got a nice example of Virtua Racing.
I need a card for most times being drunk with a Devo hat on. That's what that-
I'm gonna do a picture next to my red tent with a Devo hat.
Whoa.
Why not?
The meta.
No, sorry, Steve.
Sorry.
It's your thing. I'm just
Steve
we can
needs a
share
card
it.
for the best main control panel.
yeah, right.
The most obnoxious main control panel ever.
That is a cool idea though, because you could have like just a big box of these cards and they all represent a game. Like that's cool. That's a cool idea.
Back
Yeah.
in the day, they used to give them away free at banning. When you go to a banning event, they used to have a big giant
Penis.
table with edges on it, so it's like a trough, I guess you could call it, and it was just filled with those cards, and you could walk in and just take the cards you want and then keep going, and people were just grabbing one of every one they could find of different ones and collecting them, and for the people that would be into it, you know. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. If people want them, they were there. I grabbed a handful, but
YouTube Punk was just saying that they should have arcade hangout cards, which
I don't know.
The fact that we even have a shirt.
I don't think we deserve it.
No, we're not structured enough to have that. That's something that Arcade Radio can do.
Yeah, the other podcasts can have their cards.
They have more. They're more structured than we are. We're more. That's why we're called the Arcade Hangout.
We're not smart enough to use Teesprings.
We only have the stamina. That's all we got going for us.
We're the alcohol tolerance cards. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We're the annoying roommate that just won't fucking get his own place. Still stays.
When are you gonna leave?
Dude,
My parents tell me that every week.
I get it. We were going through some hard times, but man, it's time to move out.
You're 50. When are you moving out?
Hopefully,
we're all
in 2
getting
years
closer.
from now.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
That's awesome.
Don't you have homes?
Yeah, no, nice. That's a good one. That's Caddyshack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Ferris Bueller.
Oh,
What
that's
does it say on that?
Bueller.
The end of Ferris Bueller was like, don't you people have homes?
Oh, that's right. He comes
Yeah.
up to the audience and says that. Yeah.
At the very, very end of the credits.
the
Yes.
very, very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth wall.
Fourth wall.
Yeah. Fourth wall
shattered.
break.
You're still here?
Go
Go
home.
home.
And everybody sat because they still showed movie footage. Because I saw that in
Yeah.
the theater,
Yeah.
and everyone's just sitting there watching, Mooney on the whatever his name is.
Oh, Rooney on
Rooney,
yeah.
not Mooney. Rooney
on
on
the
the
bus.
bus. Yeah.
And the gummy bears.
Gummy,
Gummy bear
bear
and all
They're in
that,
my
yeah.
pocket. They're nice
Yeah.
and warm.
And no one's watching the credits or just watching,
The footage.
the
yeah.
footage because it's still funny. I'm entertained, and then the
That was
credits
before that was
finish,
really even a thing. Before
end credit sequence.
yeah.
And what was it that was written on the bus ceiling? Was it
Rooney eats it.
Rooney eats
Rooney
it. Yeah,
eats
thank
it,
you. I was
yeah.
thinking, was it Rooney blows? No, that doesn't sound right. No,
Something,
Rooney eats
yeah.
it, yeah.
Should have said Rooney's
It's a good pop quiz. That's
Rooney's
that's
a
good quiz.
pedophile. Because he was.
Rooney touched me.
Talk about like a career ender.
Yeah.
Hey, Mock,
Nothing-
you might be interested in. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say nothing ends your career quicker than being a child molester and being caught with kitty porn. Goodbye, career.
Ooh.
That
Yeah.
happened to him. That happened to the guy from Star Trek, the motion picture,
The problem is he looks the part
Seventh Heaven
too.
guy, the dad. Remember him?
Michael
Oh.
Jackson.
No.
A couple
Yeah.
dozen
He
priests.
Okay,
played
the-
Decker and Star
Decker.
Trek.
Remember in Star Trek, the guy who joins
Yeah.
with V'ger?
Yeah.
He got caught with a whole bunch of porn and
Ah,
stuff.
Jesus. I
He
didn't
got
know that.
busted for he got turned in by his own was it his sister or his wife's sister or something, because he was touching a relative.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's a fuck face, that guy. Career ender. You don't see him
What
on
a
eighth
dick.
heaven or ninth heaven.
I'll beat him to death with my arm.
Dick.
Broken
Yeah.
arm.
So
Well,
he's a
Mock,
piece of shit.
there's since you're kind of a film guy, you like the production stuff. Are you subscribed on YouTube to Stan Winston School, to the channel?
No, I'm not.
Okay, it's a good
probably like
good
it,
channel.
though.
I obviously Stan Winston, who's done all like
Oh yeah, I know he
Terminator,
is.
all the big
I actually
movies,
met him before he died.
animatronics. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
They've been doing on that channel. They've done 2 parts so far. They're releasing. Anyways, all the Jurassic Park movies, they're doing crew reunions, and where they talk about the making and what they did on all the Jurassic Park movies, and they have really good photos and stuff. But it's just kind of them. It's kind of like this, but they're in person, so they must have recorded it before the pandemic.
Oh.
But they did. I just watched where they talk about just Jurassic Park 1. But there's like probably 20 people that worked on it, and they're all telling stories and stuff about the production. It's like 2 hours long. And this is all on YouTube, obviously. And then I haven't got to it yet, but then they go into Lost World, and then they haven't released the other ones yet, but it's really fascinating. It's really
Yeah,
like
that
I've watched
sounds cool.
plenty. I've watched a ton of behind the scenes stuff of Jurassic Park, but it's really fun because they're it's nowadays it's a reunion, and they're still telling all these funny stories and stuff, and it's very entertaining if you're into that sort of thing, learning
Yeah,
about
effects
how they
and-
made, and they talk about every dinosaur and what they and stuff that they shot that wasn't in the movie, and things that problems and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's really cool. So that's on the Stan Winston School YouTube channel.
What I thought was neat about, and why Jurassic Park holds up so well, I think, is because
They used
They were-
everything.
they're one of the first effects companies to merge not only the 3D CGI shit, but also match it to a puppet and make the puppet the best they could. And so like close-ups where the puppet is like you see its eye and it changes, like that's not CG. That's just a big
No.
puppet. Or when
And
that
by the
mouth
way, and they
comes
talk
in.
about
Yeah.
the guy that did all of the dinosaur eyes is part of that, and he talks about every dinosaur and how he did the eyes, but he specifically talks about the dilating eye from the T-Rex.
That's what
and
I'm
how he
talking
did
about. That close
and,
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And,
really cool.
And he talks about eyes that he made that they didn't use, like because they were talking about doing the inner eyelid thing that like lizards and stuff do when they're gonna go underwater and stuff, and he had developed Spielberg wanted that, and so he had developed that, and then they ended up not using it, but it's really fascinating stuff. But yeah, like you were saying, they use every trick in the arsenal, people in dinosaur costumes, and and the puppets and the CGI and like animatronics, everything.
It's one of the first movies, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's one of the first movies that did face replacement. So like when
on the girl,
when she falls, I think that's the first movie I ever heard it being used, replacing her face with a stunt woman when she falls down the vent. I think
they're in the ace the vent.
The raptors are after her.
Ace, yep.
Yeah.
And
she looks up
from under her.
Yeah, she looks up really quick, and it's a real flash. But that's the first face replacement I ever remember hearing about in a movie. I was like,
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
because like even like Terminator 2, when Arnold flies off on the motorcycle, that's not a face replacement. The stuntman's wearing an Arnold mask.
Yeah, and they fixed that later because when they released T2 in the theaters as a reunion.
Oh, did they switch it up with the CGI head?
They had fixed it with Arnold's face, but because I saw it in the theater with some friends when they re-released it as a reunion thing, and we watched it, and we were waiting for it. It was coming up, and we're all like, wait for this, because we're going to start, because it's on the big screen, so obvious.
Yeah, you look real close
and I was like, oh, they fixed it. We were kind of disappointed.
It looks too perfect, because you can tell it's a stunt man with a Arnold mask.
Yeah.
Just it's so obvious.
Yeah,
but yeah, as far as a CGI effect, what's really neat is seeing the special effects for that Tanya movie. Is that what the name of it was? The ice skating, Tanya Harding. What's that girl?
Take a knee. I said, take a knee.
Take a knee.
Yeah, Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding.
Yeah.
The actress that played Tanya Harding, I forget her name. She was in The Wolf of Wall Street. What was that actress's name? I don't remember her name. The blonde.
From IMDb that. Go.
I forget. Anyway, there's a cool thing on YouTube that shows how they did their face replacements on her, because sometimes, because it's a professional skater doing all the the skating, but of course it's not the actress because she can't do that. So they would either put a CGI head of her face moving around, or or they would just track in her face, but tracking like in Mocha. It just depends, because it's cheaper that way, than doing a full CGI head with motion blur moving around. And what's funny is they show the plate without the background. You just see this head moving around the screen with motion blur, because they put that in, in layers. After Effects works like Photoshop in layers, but it's just video. Think of it that way.
Yep.
Yeah. So
boy, I haven't used Mocha in a long time.
We use it a lot in my work.
Yeah,
take that trash can out. Take that out. You don't like to see that. Get that out of there.
And part of the reason I think I don't use Mocha very often is that After Effects has gotten so good with their own built-in 3D camera tracker and
Margot
stuff.
Robbie.
But at the same time, I don't do, like, obviously your work is different than any of my recreational stuff, and
it's it just depends on where you need it and stuff. Because you got to track a moving camera sometimes and track it and then remove it, and we got to do a lot of removal stuff on some other things, but yeah, thank you, YouTube Punk. Margot Robbie, that is the answer. Yeah,
nice.
Yes.
YouTube Punk actually just commented on my pinball video, and he's like, damn it, I haven't even watched part 2 yet, and you're posting part 3. So I'm like, well, I can wait a couple months for the next one if you'd like,
I agree. Seabart mentioned about the top of your smokestack. I thought I used to do it with my dioramas when I used to make them. Just take a cotton ball and pull out some smoke and just put it in the thing, or you can even put a little glue if you want to, but you could just put it in a smokestack. It looks amazing, Jim. Just try it because it'll look really cool. And it's not gonna move because you'll have something that sticks it in there. It'll make it look like a cool little
all that
smokestack.
3M tape.
That's true.
Yeah, no, like 20 pounds of 3M tape.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, this just came with 2 little pieces, and they don't really hit the contact point. So exactly.
Jim's all.
I'll show you how to do it. Yeah,
exactly. I'm going to do this off camera. All
I don't
right,
think there's
here we
enough
are.
3M on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double it up and stick it on.
I hit every spot. Yeah, I'm like, there's no way. Well, and I'm like, I
It's
was
a
going to
great
just
nemesis to remove it too.
I was just going to
Watching you
do
remove the backing. It's just brutal.
fucking.
when you got the
there was so much
X-Acto knife
cursing.
out, I was like, I literally yes, fucking got it. Yeah, because the X-Acto knife is like, it just does it so well.
Yeah,
to peel it.
That's the right way to
I
do
got
it.
a comment from it was either Lurmods or Mesomods. They PM me on Pinside, and he's like, yeah, sometimes the hardest part of these mods is removing the backing of that. I'm like, I know. It's like, there was sometimes I wish I had left like the whole length of me removing the backing on there because I cursed so much during that. Like,
I'm just gonna say, if you listen really closely to the screeching from the fast forward, you can almost hear Jim saying "fucking 10."
There was just I was getting pissed because I'm like, this is such a waste of footage of like memory card space for me to do this shit. Yeah. Anyways, but
you know what you have I haven't seen before was that plastic rail cover that you slide on both sides for when you lift it up so it doesn't
the
artwork protector.
I don't use that. I just go bloop.
those things have paid for themselves so much because you have no idea that literally the left side of the Wonka playfield touches the
it does.
inner left side,
and it will.
I was going to ask how close
it will rub on it.
I actually have to get the left side protector in. I have to wedge it like this.
How much does those
like
cost?
A seesaw.
Wow.
I got the pair for $35.
Okay, because I haven't seen those before.
They've paid for themselves like 100 times over. Yeah.
Well, okay, so when I used to have decals or decals in Canada. I used to have decals. I used to have decals of in my whitewater
Mario
of trees and mountains and stuff that I put that in. And yes, as you keep doing, lifting up your playfield, it does start to make a rounded scratch, I guess you could say, in the back where it was rubbing on there. So now, I was gonna say now all 3 of my pins are mirror blades. So
okay,
I don't bother with them.
There were people have posted photos on Pinside that have collector's edition, the top of the line, the $12,500 ones that come with pin blade art already. And they've posted pictures of the left side having a big vertical chunk missing out of the art because of that.
Of rubbing. Yep.
Rubs
the art right off. Yeah.
Yeah. And that if you've seen it, when I those actually protectors came in handy just for installing the art itself because it would keep everything flush when I needed to move the position of it.
Oh, and when you moved it and it crushed your
did decal, you like
that happened to me on my whitewater on one of them when I was installing it. Exactly that. I'm like, oh shit.
And then I look on the other side and there's a big gouge out of it, scrunched up.
Mine was crunched.
I was just pissed. I did get it pretty good, like on the where it's scrunched near the back. I actually was getting that pretty good with the heat gun, but I kept looking back at the other spot. I'm like, this is gonna bother me forever. And then I'm like, wait a second, I fucking spent this piece of art that I fucked up was $30. Why am I spending all this frustration and time fucking with this when I can just fucking eat it up and buy another $30
or just ignore it, but your OCD.
I would never be able to. Yeah, I always try to convince myself.
His OCD. I'm watching Jim's video today, and it's like this clear piece of plastic that's just aesthetic. It doesn't need to be there. It's just bugging Jim that he's pulled it from his original thing. I got to put it back because he's got this red tube that's in the
Dremel.
way. So he like dremels out this little piece to stick this piece back in that's not necessary, doesn't need it. By the
I had
way,
someone comment on Pinside about
my
that.
God, it's so anal.
Like-
And I was like,
and
this
they're
is
like-
so anal watching this.
Yeah.
The dude on Pinside just like, just FYI, I've had that piece removed for this whole time and it hasn't affected anything. I'm like,
It doesn't.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
so
No, I know, but it's also it's his first pin, so he's really
I
excited
know,
to
I
do this
know,
stuff.
I know.
And
I'm looking
So
for
it's
excuses
good.
to use that Dremel
Pro
anyways.
tip.
So it's like,
here's what I
That
do.
Dremel.
Jim, the second I saw you take out those 2 smaller pieces of acrylic, I knew those were going to go back in.
Yeah,
Like
even made a backup.
the
one I
Yeah.
like
saw,
6
too.
years
So-
that I've known you, it's like, no, those go back in.
Just
No.
a pro tip. Just anything you take out in case you're gonna sell it, which you will someday probably. Like I always told Keith, I'm not selling it.
Oh, yeah,
you
I've
are.
saved-
Yeah,
I've
you
saved
are. Someday
everything.
You are. Yeah. What I do and a lot of people do is the little coin door thing, the little coin box.
Yep.
That's where you put all your shit. So that way, when you sell it off, you go, hey, if you want the original, blah blah blah, it's right there. So,
yeah, most of my stuff's
can
in
put it in if they
there, and
want.
then I also have I have a bunch of, I have a box of that I just basically labeled original Wonka parts, and they're stored. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing.
do the same thing in the arcade games, right? I mean, like I think
Oh yeah,
the original trackball that was worn as fuck
still
from
kept it.
my Centipede.
I rarely
Cabaret
throw
is
anything
still
out.
in the fucking coin box.
Yeah.
Just in case someone wants to try
Yeah.
to fix
Just
it.
because it's original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, and it
Someone
just
might
hurts,
know
like,
how to fix it.
What are you gonna do? Throw it out? Like that just
Right.
hurts too much. You can't
Yeah.
do that. So you stick it in the coin box.
No, you pop it out and
No.
play pool with it.
Yeah, if you find some like Funland tickets or
It's an
you know,
extra white ball.
whatever 5 cent, the shit you find in the bottom of the cabinet when you clean it out. It's like if it's something that's a little piece of history from where the game came from,
Yeah.
just throw it in
Yeah.
the coin door
Exactly.
in the bucket. It'll be fine. And then the next collector gets a
Quarter
little
is
bit
still
of-
in the bottom of track and field, in the quarter with the hole in it, and the bit of fishing line still in the coin bucket.
Nice.
That's cool. I like that. I haven't actually found like a hacked quarter in one of my games before, but that's pretty cool.
Oh, Canadian.
Oh, like a slug
we're
or
nice on the
something?
outside, but on the inside we steal. So
Yeah.
I am keeping the original fucked up coin. Was it the coin protection, the vault basically from the backside that someone fucked up in the back at Circus Charlie?
oh
Hmm.
I'm sure I posted the pictures when I got that. It's been a few years, but like someone using it's like someone tried to chew their way into the backside of Circus Charlie into the
Really?
coin door. Oh God, I can dig it out and I'll repost it to Slack maybe. But like, yeah,
God.
it's like someone went in there with like tin snips and like a
How many?
ice pick, but it's like peeled back a flower. Like someone just did, and they must have
Oh.
spent hours trying to get
Ah.
into the
God.
back of this thing to get like a couple of quarters out of Circus fucking Charlie,
Yeah.
the big earner there.
Bigger, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Circus Charlie. Yeah, the back of the coin door is like some just meth addict just fucking trying to chew their way in there to buy another rock.
I very rarely saw a Circus Charlie out in the wild back in the day. It was pretty rare.
That's so common.
I saw it a
Yeah.
couple of times, but yeah, not very many.
Not very many.
I
Yeah.
don't remember ever seeing it.
No. YouTube Punk mentioned something about a book.
Oh, it's the new Van book. Yeah.
It's a Kickstarter for visual history of the video game age from 1985 to 2001.
Yeah, it's
Kickstarter.
Supercade. So, most of us, do you guys have Supercade? Anyone else here have Supercade?
We didn't have Supercade. At least I never saw it in California.
oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Ah.
no, so this is like the second book, I think, in the
That's awesome.
series.
that's
So
a
there was
that's a Canadian quarter too. And that's about where Buddy's luck ran out.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the later coin mechs where it snips them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little tiny piece of metal in the mech, and once you get it below the switch,
hopefully that's so yeah, Supercade. So this is the first book.
Oh no, I do have that. Yeah, I didn't know
you
you. Yeah.
a bunch
Yep.
of so this is so this one is 71 to 84. So
yeah, my
this next
centerfold's
one-
right at like about page 37. That's the one where I'm like,
yeah. The eyes. So the
I like
next
it with
one
the
is
little hip tilt.
85 to 2001. So that's the
style.
book that he's talking about. But like, yeah, it's a sequel. So this is the first book,
Aha, yeah.
which is
I
a
also
huge
have.
and
There's
awesome
a book I've got that's about the Japanese culture. The about the what's it called? Something about the yen.
100 yen.
Something
coin
like
thing.
that. Yeah, it's or maybe that's not the title. But it's a really good. But it's a little book like that. I should go grab that. Plus, I need another drink.
This is a big book. So
yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah,
You-
so
you recommend-
Vernon.
That's
That's a great size, Andrew.
That was a Kickstarter though, like right? I mean, that one.
This one, maybe it was. I don't think so.
I think I got that
didn't
as
buy
a
it from
gift.
Kickstarter.
Okay.
I think I got it on Amazon or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that. It's probably still available, but it's just Supercade.
Okay.
I got a friend request on Facebook from Van.
So
and
funny.
and
I
I
just
was
recently
like-
got that too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, because I've seen her pictures shown up a million times forever, and then it's like, oh well, that's nice. I click on it, and that's the day of the Kickstarter, and I'm like, was this all about money?
Strangely, may have been part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's one of the few because usually I'm like, well, do I, it's just.
But
I
wait
could
a
have-
minute. The Van is this Van's venture? Is for a friend that Van knows, or does Van produce?
She's writing it.
Oh, it's her. She's the author.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this one, yeah, it's actually.
Coincidence?
Yeah.
I was a
Yeah.
little hurt. I was a little
Her-
bummed. I was like, I thought it was
Picture
about
on the
me.
back of it.
Yeah, I know
No.
her. I know
Yeah,
her.
I met her. I think the first time I met her was at Kong Off 2, the first year it was in Denver. She was here with.
Yeah. Well, anytime I see her when I'm with Keith, I'm invisible, so I don't have. I know she's okay. I just Keith and her have a history, so they go blah 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 blah, and you're the person just standing there, kind of going like this,
Yeah.
Well, that's
So-
me 24/7.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna walk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over here, Keith, and play some games where you guys are chatting. So, but I don't know.
So who is? I got a friend request from that person too. So who is this? That Van, the
She's
female.
a woman
writing
who
a
wants
book.
money.
She's got a bunch of games though. Holy
She does.
crap!
Yeah.
She knows her shit too.
Yep.
So you could talk about any video game, and she can talk your ear off on that. But yeah,
Oh, but she friend requested everybody in the arcade community. Is
and
that
she's
what it was?
Yeah.
she doesn't
Yeah.
need money
Okay.
either. So it's not about money. I think it's just about her getting her book out there, really. So because she's money's
Strange
not an
I
issue
haven't
with
got
her. Yeah. So yeah, probably no.
If you have a lot of arcade people you're friends with on Facebook, you'll probably get pulled into the network.
Yeah, that's how I got pulled in. I guess because of who. I'm like, oh, she must be. She had like 18 mutual friends. It must be you guys, like
Right,
Knuckles
yeah.
and all this people I'm friends with.
Yeah, all the California people and stuff, and she's really good friends with Kaylin, So yeah,
Maybe that's
Hey,
she's all
speaking
right.
of arcade people, did anyone? I listened to New Coin Rejects had a new episode out today, and they gave us a lot of airtime, talking about their time on the Hangout.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
It was fun when they
Yes,
were on.
yes.
That was a blast.
Yes, I didn't finish the episode, but they were both talking because Brian liked doing the arcade tours, and I think we should get them back on and then get Jordan and Ian to do their plan on doing an arcade tour, because other people have mentioned to me that's their favorite part of when we have people to see other people's arcades.
Mm.
Like in the setting we do it, when it's not like the video, when it's them
Yeah.
like, hey, it's
Mhm.
kind of unfiltered, they're just doing it right there instead of watching a video.
I think that's
Yeah,
always
like,
like our favorite part of like having new-ish people on the
Yeah.
show. Like,
Or people that we haven't
Yeah.
seen in a while, so we can see
Yeah.
what different games they have. And
what have you
stuff,
changed?
because
What do you got?
Everybody knows the bullshit we have.
Yeah,
But they
I can
also
see it behind
commented
Andrew.
they really enjoyed your horror movie talk. They liked the they thought that was like great, like wow, they didn't expect that and loved it.
Oh, just talking about
you guys
movies
did-
on something different.
Yes. Yeah. They said it was pretty cool.
They were more of a
So-
cultural.
What was that, Carrie?
So my dog's barking, and I'm just stop. Don't have to turn off the camera. Get up, pull her in, take the door out. That's where I am.
Quiet.
I know, right? It's just gotten
Sadie.
dark. Yeah, it's dark enough that people are like the last few people I think are walking their dogs or whatever. I'm like, oh,
They're
shut
pretty
up.
brave with that curfew looming.
Shut up. I know, right? Actually, it went into effect 35
8:30,
minutes
right?
ago.
Yeah.
8:30. Yeah. And maybe it wasn't people, sometimes I go out there and it's like I can smell skunk. So, it could be critters. It could be a lot of things.
Might be weed.
Weed, skunk, all the same.
I know. It's funny too. Like walking through downtown, it's like, oh, is there a skunk downtown here? Like, that's weird. Nah, it's just some fucking hippie smoking weed.
Someplace stinks.
Someplace
stinks. I couldn't find that book. It's hidden somewhere. It's a small but I found the Supercade and Arcade Fever was the other book I think.
Yeah.
But anyways, I tried. But then I found some rosé, so that helps.
Yeah.
Success.
Priority.
Yeah.
That I knew exactly where it was.
I knew this was going to happen. You're drinking rosé now. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'd be curious about like what's in the 85 to 2001. I mean, there's definitely some stuff, in the late 80s, some of the 90s, I guess. But up to 2001, like what was coming out in the late 90s and early 2000s that was like
not a lot.
Interesting.
I
guess maybe I got to buy the book.
Come on, baby.
WrestleMania.
Jim, what year was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all that?
91, 92.
Yeah.
The first, Street Fighter 2 was 92, 93, and then the first Street Fighter was 87.
Yeah,
87.
It was earlier than that. Yeah, but then Street Fighter 2, World Warrior was
World Warrior was like 91, 92.
91.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that had just come out, and I think I was like 8 or 9 when I played that for the first time at a hotel. Embassy Suites. I still remember because that was the first time we were going to Mall of America as a family. That was a big outing.
I used to work at Embassy Suites. And actually, that's funny. So my Street Fighter connection with Embassy Suites, we had Street Fighter the movie.
Oh.
in the little tiny
the movie, the game?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, in the tiny
which is actually
arcade.
Not a bad game.
It's not a terrible game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just not like Street Fighter 2.
It's not Mortal Kombat either.
No, it's some weird hybrid.
I think it's a little too choppy. I wish they worked a little harder on the animation smoothness of the transition.
hit detection.
Hit detection, yeah. It's a fun. It's fun.
A lot of competitive
casually.
players love that game though. Yeah.
There was a report. There was a report of a Street Fighter the movie tournament going out as to debut Street Fighter the movie as a tournament to try and get the word out. And about halfway through the tournament, they canceled the tournament because everybody just hated the game so much.
Yeah, it's probably it's one of those things that I think it's just grown on people, over time. You could say the same thing even about Super Turbo. People are like, this is so unbalanced and blah, blah, blah. But now that's like the Cadillac of Street Fighter. It still is. Yeah. Like it's not necessarily the most, like the two games that are most popular on as far as the Street Fighter 2 phase goes really is arguably Hyper Fighting and Super Turbo. Hyper Fighting being because it's so balanced, but then Super Turbo just because it's such a game that can change drastically. I think that's part of it, and people just like the super combo mechanic of it. And it's fast, like, because people don't, both those games, slow speed is not a factor. Champion Edition's slow as balls, and so is Vanilla Super. So
the original Street Fighter is almost unplayable. It's so slow.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And there are characters that you can't play.
Yeah.
Oh, the original war, it's just like basically Ken and Ryu, right?
Yes, you only had 2 characters to choose from.
Street Fighter 1. Yes. Yeah. World Warrior, had 8.
Yeah, and the way the attacks work is that Ryu will only do his attack once you release the button, as opposed to when you press the button.
Press it.
Negative edge only. That's funny.
Yeah. So you have to actually. Yeah. So he won't actually punch until you release the punch button. So it's real awful.
Yeah, and then they fix that later, and then you could do either. So you could either do negative edge or you could do just your regular press to get them out. And negative edge can actually screw up your execution if you're not aware of it. So
Yeah, I've only played the original Street Fighter, and it didn't have the big buttons on it, the pneumatic ones.
Yeah, because they had 2 versions of it. Yeah,
right. But our I remember like Street Fighter 2 had been out for a while. I don't think Champion had dropped at that point, at least where I was at. But the youth center in the town, they brought in strangely like a Street Fighter 1 cab. And
wow.
So it was just like whatever, they're just throwing games in there because I had them, I guess. But that's where I played it for the first time. I was like pretty decent at Street Fighter 2 and could play Ken and Ryu. So I was like, all right, I got this. And I was like, no, I don't. This is like basically a new game.
Yeah, I never saw
awkward,
Street Fighter 1 in the wild. I mean, my first experience was with World Warrior. So, and then I remember how big of a fucking deal Champion Edition was. I saw that was at a roller skating rink where I saw that the first time. I'm like, what? You can play as the bosses and you can play the same character?
Yeah, 2 of the same. Yeah,
that was one of the most exciting attract modes I'd ever seen, because I would just watch that. I'm like, holy shit, because it was all mirror.
Yeah,
almost everything was. Yeah,
that was Champion. That introduction of that mechanic was huge. Playing the bosses and playing play versus player, character versus character is huge.
That was the first World Warrior. That was the first time that I rented a system for one game. I rented a Super Nintendo for that, and it came with an instruction manual, so I could actually figure out what the special moves were. But even as a kid, I'm like 9-10 years old, and the charge moves were just like I couldn't understand it.
They didn't explain them very well. Yeah,
are you talking about the Super Nintendo's first Street Fighter game?
Yeah, the World War
II game.
Yeah.
Well, but it was but then he was talking Champ though.
Yeah, we were talking Champ right before that. Yeah.
Oh, Champion Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube Punk says 34K Youth Center run by Mr. T.
Well, I was so into Street Fighter back in the day. I'm not as good as Jim or even Andrew, but I still love playing it. So I was so into it that when I had the Street Fighter for Super Nintendo imported, the Japanese one, because they got it like about 9 or 8 months before we got ours.
Oh yeah.
So I imported it for it was a lot of money. I think it was almost $100. I had it imported and brought in, and I had my this place would break the tabs off.
Oh yeah, so you could just
they had these little tabs to keep you from putting in a Japanese cartridge. So you just break them off with a little needle nose pliers, pink, and then you can put in. They didn't. That was the copy protection for
it was the region protection.
Region.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
So or you break them off with a Dremel in Jim's case.
Always use a Dremel.
Slightly overkill, but you know what? You got to pay for that Dremel. So.
But I remember bringing it over. My friend and I played it all night in his apartment. He had a low level, first floor apartment, and I remember kids lining up behind his window, watching us play, and they're all wishing they could come in and play with us. We're like, nope, we don't know you kids. We're not coming in.
I remember there was a code you could enter so that you could mirror, so that the background would change on the title screen from black to blue. And that meant you entered it.
On the
and
Super
so
Nintendo.
You could play. You could do
Ryu.
You could do.
I think you're right, Jim. I think there was that code, and they're like Ryu was blue or something.
And they were dressed differently too, so you actually got different.
It was a weird color.
Different shades. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a weird color swap, but not your standard one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I remember
it was like
the day
one character kind of looked bleached almost. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little weird.
Jim, did you know about the SNK game Art of Fighting also had an option where you could fight as the bosses.
Oh no, but I played a bunch of those games.
I like those too.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to actually go through the story mode, and if you can go through the story mode and make it all the way to the final boss, and then player 2 comes in and switches to versus mode. Then the 2 boss characters are selectable characters.
Oh,
weird.
That was an interesting game. I remember the bonus stages in that game being really complicated. You would have to enter this big motion to do these fireballs, and you had to hit this thing 3 times. Like it was kind of
6 times
complicated. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very.
But I remember.
complicated
But I
joystick
remember
movement.
the animation was crazy too. But was the boss in that game? I'm trying to remember. Was he like Mr. Karate or something? I can't remember who the boss was.
His
in that
name,
game.
the final boss was
Mr. Karate.
Was Mr.
No, I'm serious.
Karate, and it was
See?
Mr.
What a
Karate, and it was
terrible
essentially
name.
a palette swap of Ryu.
Mr. I'm good at karate.
Yeah. Well, he had this big nose. Yeah, it was fun.
It was a mask. He wore a mask.
Okay. All right.
It's like a theater mask.
Theater mask with the big nose. Yeah.
It was revealed in Art of Fighting 2 that the mask came off, and it was really Ryo's father. So another like one of those Luke and Darth Vader like things when they fight the final boss. It turns out to be your dad.
Was it Art of Fighting special? No. What am I thinking?
There was Art of Fighting, Art of Fighting 2, Art of Fighting 3, and I guess whatever.
Okay, I'm thinking of Fatal Fury special.
But in
Fatal Fury,
Art of Fighting 1,
had like the different levels.
You could fight as in Art of Fighting 1. You could fight as Mr. Karate, or you could fight as Mr. Big.
Another great name.
It's my nickname. Yeah.
No. And he had 2 sticks.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. And they were a lot longer than 10 inches.
Around. Think about it.
Yeah.
So speaking of like weird, like King of Fighters and Art of Fighting, do you guys ever play what was the other Neo Geo one? The
Samurai Showdown.
Samurai Showdown was
they had that at Godfather's Pizza.
The first 2 are great. Yeah, I didn't.
2 was awesome.
I stopped playing after 2. Yeah.
2, yeah. 2 like
it's a hard game though.
It is hard.
So that was another one that was like finish on one quarter.
The slow down, and then the screen would zoom out, and you get red, and then
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they had that was a weird mechanic.
We had a Neo Geo at the Embassy Suites, and they had Samurai Shodown 2 there. So after my shift, I would frequently go down there with quarters and
play the fuck out of it.
Play the fuck out of that. Yeah. So we were playing a lot of that in the arcade too. So that was back in like '93.
They had that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then across from that,
World Heroes. That was
World Heroes, yes.
So with like Nostradamus,
Raiden, the big wrestler guy. Yeah.
So Muscle Power.
my other
the pro wrestler from World Heroes, his name was Muscle Power.
Yeah, they had the goofiest characters in that, like with weird names that were like, really?
Yeah.
Or Rasputin. That's right.
Huge sprites too.
Yeah.
Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Yeah.
The little Freddy Krueger guy in was that was Samurai Showdown?
Hanzo.
Yeah, Samurai Showdown.
Hanzo. I think Hanzo was one of my favorite characters in that.
Hanzo and Fuma.
Yeah.
Carrie, why aren't you contributing to this conversation? You're so fluent in these games.
Clearly,
Dragon.
Yeah,
that's why I noticed, and then that's why Seabart's away right now too.
He's like, fuck it.
Goddamn Dave too. It's like I'm so shocked.
But there was so many like spin-offs of like wacky like fighting games that were like some pretty good ones in there that I have not gone back to revisit.
There are still tournaments for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tournament fighters.
What?
Out there.
Really?
Yep. So yeah, I mean, you name a fighting game, there's probably I've seen Shaq Fu tournaments, and that's I mean anything.
Even the Super Nintendo version of that of tournament fighters. Is that what?
Yeah, I remember renting that for regular Nintendo and being like, "What the fuck?"
Well, yeah, they had it on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it was better on there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
in high school, actually, I had a gig for a little while. It was very short, but I was
a stripper.
A stripper. No, so Mock actually started to throw back this weird thing. So there was a weird thing where you did like a thing where you're supposed to talk about the jobs you had. I think you posted this on Facebook.
Oh,
and it was supposed to be like 9 jobs that were real and like 1 job that was fake.
Oh, yeah, the jobs that you worked at.
Yeah, something like that, right? So there was like a thing, and I was like, I'm not big into like replying to those things, especially when it turns into like a chain letter where it's like, if you don't respond to this, then you're basically gonna get bad luck, or
I don't. Yeah, I didn't put that in.
You didn't do that, but I saw that you posted it, and I was looking through it, and I was like, I actually wrote my list out and didn't post it. But one of my jobs was I actually cleaned houses.
Oh, I used to do that. Yeah.
It was a pretty brief job.
Me too.
I was
sucked.
Yeah, it's not a good job.
I hate cleaning house. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
You were thinking you wanted money.
They
Parents
paid
had to
decent.
fucking like abuse me to make me fucking wash the dishes. So
Yeah.
like, why the fuck am I getting this as a job? Oh yeah, I need money. But yeah, no. So I got a job right. It was like stupid out of high school. I was working for a magazine doing some illustration work, but it didn't fucking pay shit.
Yeah.
So I was cleaning houses because I just needed a job. And
you were cleaning house.
Wait, were you cleaning brand new? Like, were you cleaning like people live their houses?
They were like rental units.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So this is up in where I grew up in the mountains. And so there were like some of these like really fancy houses. Actually, there's some really cool houses that I did some work on. But the whole point of this is like the first time I saw a Super Nintendo with Street Fighter on it was at one of these rental houses, and they had a Super Nintendo. And I remember like walking downstairs, and I saw they had it like the
playing for 4 hours
in the
and then they
thing.
kicked them out.
It was like totally like one of those things where like I was supposed to be like making the bedroom and like stripping the sheets and doing shit. And I was like, click and turn it on. I was like,
just to check it out.
That was the first time I got to play it. Like actually.
And what did you think?
Oh wow, that's
the
awesome.
Capcom logo comes on.
I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good conversion. I thought.
The only problem was like the fucking D-pad sucks for doing moves.
You can't do Zangief moves with it. It's too hard.
You can't.
But
do
you
a
can do
bunch of
other
moves.
stuff.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
Charge moves for sure. It was like
Mhm.
like Guile and Blanca, no problem.
Yeah.
Like Chun-Li, like, but like. Yeah, doing like fireballs, it's like kind of you could do it, but like I had 5 minutes before my boss was gonna walk in.
Yeah. You just want to check it out real quick.
But it was like totally just checking out.
I remember looking
Volume turned
through
all the way down.
the instruction manual and trying to figure out on the D-pad how to do Ryu and Ken's Dragon Punch with a Z.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does this
is a
mean?
Z?
Yeah.
If someone had just come up to me and they just said push forward and then do a fireball motion,
Right.
But no, you're supposed to go boop 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 with the D-pad forward, down, middle forward, wait a second, forward down,
neutral, forward down.
It made no sense,
down.
but I remember like if I just like tried to do 2 fireballs really
Just
quick
mash
or
it.
something,
Yeah.
sometimes it would come out. Yeah.
Right.
So what was really hard when
And
I
the
was
voice
teaching,
was so bad in that game too.
yeah, it was
voice
bad.
of
It was really
was
compressed.
terrible.
But what's hard when you're teaching a friend to play Street Fighter, you're like teach them the move, but then when your character switch places, you tell them, okay, now it's the same move, but it's mirrored.
Yeah.
It's like,
Do it on the
what?
inside,
What do you
yeah.
mean it's mirrored? I go, well, it's facing me now, so now it's it's down.
You think
for me?
you think Street
forwards
Fighter's
me.
bad for reversing the motion? I think hands down the most challenging game to do that is Karate Champ. Because you have 2 joysticks.
Oh
now.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's
Karate Champ is ridiculously difficult to
Once you
just like
cross over,
yeah, if you're not used to it. When we were at CAX 2 or 3 years ago, I want to say it was at least 2 years ago. I was playing Karate Champ because other people were playing, and it was fun. Some people knew how to play, some didn't. But this one dude comes up, and that was the first time where I was like, "You're better than I am," because he could play. He was like, "I'll play either side," and so he was equivalent. Like he was a switch hitter. He could play just as well on one side as the other, and I can't do that. I was thoroughly impressed. He was really good.
It's funny. I just watched Bloodsport tonight.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, nice.
Before the
That's
show,
fun.
just randomly, it was like
I've been searching
fishing
for
on
that
Amazon.
ROM set. I'm convinced it does not exist. The sounds of their version, because I'm like, I know there's Korean and Japanese versions of that ROM set available, but like I've been looking for that particular one because I want those sounds, because everything is called out really weird in that version. But I'm convinced now that it doesn't exist. But maybe
probably not. Yeah. They may very well have.
Like,
probably
probably
because they couldn't get good audio off the game, so they, whoever was the Foley artist was just like, I have to put sounds in here for a fighting game kind of thing. So that
and some of the bass hits, like when when hits land and stuff, they're way bassier and deeper. And
I'm sure it's the Foley artist, just creative license. Yeah,
but that game, if you could, I should just start playing that game on the player 2 side for that.
Whoa, look at Gak all fancy.
Oh my God, he's
What's up,
back.
guys?
Wow.
3 absences, almost 4.
Holy shit, dude! You look like you're in arcade paradise right now.
Wow.
I am.
Yeah,
I am in.
I'm in
with
full
that Zaxxon
lunacy.
front and center. I love it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got my E-dot back there in the background. My fingers disappearing. Damn it.
Don't
Back
move too
over
fast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, if you keep your hands in your face, it'll be fine.
Yes,
If you start
back over
pointing
there, I got
back
my
here,
E-dot.
A little more straightener in the hair there. And
Yeah, I just got a haircut yesterday, a couple days ago.
Gak turns on
Don't
his
Me
move
too.
background.
your hair.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, you did.
It's keying out.
Yes.
So-
Carrie's second attempt at cutting my hair actually was pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
So what
Shall
are
I
the
show you
posters
guys
got
around
there?
my game room real quick? You know, let me
Yeah,
show you
it's
my,
really awesome.
Show us the
so here's
posters.
my wing.
Quick, stand up.
This is my wing.
Stand
It's
up.
all the pinball machines. You know, lined up.
Yeah.
Hey, let me present this.
Gak turns on his
this'll be good.
background. He's gonna
Yeah.
be in his bathroom
Alright,
sitting on a
so-
toilet.
As you can see, I have quite an impressive list of.
That's an impressive
there you
finger
go.
you
my
got
finger
there.
kind of gets cut off a little bit.
Yeah, it's
And I actually finally got my Tempest working too. By the way.
Wow,
it,
good,
doesn't- it
nice.
looks like it's
Now,
frozen.
somehow I
Actually.
pulled that off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
With my lack of repair skills, I just kept praying and
And then praying worked, I guess.
Yeah,
huh?
your Tron is not. Looks a little frozen behind you too.
yeah, the screen's locked up. a little
Everything's
bit.
locked up behind
Yeah.
you. Even
Right, you're right.
Yeah,
Your
so
buddy
back to
Dylan
my,
did do a
cap-
cap
if you-
kit.
Yeah, I was going to say a cap kit would fix that, bud.
So I'm gonna try not to blink too fast. I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, here we go. Now my other section of the game room. I got the E dot in the background there,
Mhm.
and as you
That's a
can
good
see,
poster
I
supply.
got my
Star Wars cockpit.
Star Wars cockpit, and
Yeah.
I'm
Pole
trying to
position
remember. It's been a
cockpit.
while since I've been that far over in the wing of games. I think
Looks like
that's
a
a
pole
Tail Gunner
position.
2 next to it.
Oh, it might be.
I can't believe you got Space Invaders.
Give me a break, man. They got fucking Space Invaders in here. That shit's for
I
retards.
finally restored the I gotta do the right hand here. My
Dude, how long have you had
Lair.
The Dragon's Lair
E-dot?
looking really
Oh.
good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's looking pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Top
you
monitor
know
for that.
it's a scramble, but I got the bit kit in it, of course, because that's the way to go with those.
Good choice.
And I got,
Nice.
Not
Good
only do
plug.
I have Zaxxon, but I have Super Zaxxon next to it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, yeah.
Necro says you look like Princess Leia coming out of RTD.
Yes.
Huh.
So and then sometimes I feel like going on a little
He
bit of an
just
acid
jumps
trip.
all over the place.
Sometimes I go on a little bit of acid trip. So just here we go. Bear with me here now. Whoa.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
then,
Shit, he's in Tron. He got sucked into it.
He's either in Tron or Pluto TV.
when it's party time, when it's party time and Mock comes over, this is my party zone for Mock right here. Here we go.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right. So any kind of like quick movements of my arms there. Don't worry about what I'm doing under the
Yeah.
camera.
I'm the tall guy in back.
I was gonna say I like the gimp with the little mask with all the
The,
little
the studs on it.
metal studs all over it. That's sexy.
And this is just
You can
kind of
find
my
the arcade
generic,
hangout.
arcade background here. Sometimes I use. So yeah, there we go. All
Oh,
right,
that one
so-
would give me a severe headache if I had a few more drinks.
Yes.
Well, Gak, thank you for the tour. So nice to see you again. We haven't
Yeah,
seen
you
you in a
too,
while.
yeah. Obviously, you guys can tell I've been busy. You know,
Yeah,
I've
the
had a
garage
lot
is
of
looking
games
really
Well,
rooms
Gak,
and
Gak,
everything going
Gak,
on.
Made a
I'll just
couple
let you
changes.
know that the next tournament starts in about 10 minutes.
Oh shit! Well,
Yeah.
all right, I'll wrap this up then.
Nice. Yeah, we gave Dave the same shit when he came here. We're like, oh, this is the wrong. He looks like he's in the wrong hangout there.
Yeah,
It's not the same. It's not
last
the
week
poker
was
dudes.
completely me. I had work stuff. I thought I was going to be done in time, but I was working till like 1:30 in the morning. To be honest, finish up some stupid project shit.
Fuck.
He was too busy making YouTube videos about burgers.
That was last weekend. Yes. Yeah.
That was making me hungry. I hated that video.
Smash burger thing.
Oh,
Well,
I made a
that
comment to
cheese
Carrie.
seal
I made a
flavor.
comment.
Cheese you put on it.
flavor.
I was like, I recognize the cheese bag because I have the same one from
Yeah, like
Costco. It's
the
like
Costco.
you could be totally like generous with the cheese. You're like, boosh,
Yeah.
boosh.
A pillow of cheese.
And then you
Yeah.
get this cool like water squirter thing, and you
Right.
melt it to this.
Oh, yeah.
I love you call it like a skirt of cheese.
The cheese skirt.
So
yeah.
the burger's like this, and the
Cheese skirt,
cheese
yeah.
is like
Yeah.
that. He takes his
Oh,
they make them
wide
like that,
spatula.
yeah.
So
Granite
here in
City, which is a
Sacramento-
big restaurant chain around here, they make amazing burgers like that, specifically with the skirt of
Yeah.
cheese,
Yum.
and it's it's so good.
It's all crispy and melty.
So
and yummy.
what's
Do you
that?
use the ice
What was
or
that show with
lime?
Guy Fieri? Diners.
Drive-ins and
Drive-ins and
dives.
dives.
So
Yeah.
one of the earlier episodes was in Sacramento, and the place is called Smash Smashburger, is that it?
Well, that's a chain. Smashburger's a chain.
Yeah.
No, okay, so
which I've actually never been to, but I've heard good things.
I can't remember the name of them now, but they specialized in the Smashburger style.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I went there and I saw how they were doing it, but they actually use like crushed ice.
Yeah,
like,
use ice to ring around the edges to keep the cheese contained.
Yeah, and it totally steams it too, like super steams it. Yeah, I just use water. I didn't have crushed ice. So.
No, most people use water though. That's pretty common.
Yeah, I gotta tell you that I saw your video of you and Lisa and the dogs watching the rainstorm the other day, and I was laughing. Carrie was over here, and I was laughing because I was telling her, I'm like, if this was like 4 years ago, I'd be like, what the fuck's the big deal about staying outside watching the rain? We get rain all the fucking time, all year round, other than the winter. Like, we get precipitation all the time. It's a fucking rainstorm. Who cares? Now I know that it's an event when it happens outside of the rain season. California. So like when I saw the video, I'm like, I get this now. I get this.
That's right. It's a California thing. And for me, it's so weird to be like, it's summer. Why is it raining? Like, why do we even have to think about rain back then?
A thunderstorm earlier, just like
we have two seasons. We have rainy season and we have earthquake season.
Yeah, or fire season. Yeah,
we have winter season and we have construction season.
That's right, 3 seasons. Gary.
Yeah,
I forgot that one.
Second that one.
And rainy season is like bookended by mudslide season.
Well, you know that you're talking to a Californian when they talk about, oh, this is earthquake weather. Because there's times when it's like, this feels like earthquake weather. And it's like outside of California, they're probably like, huh?
We get winter and construction season. Yeah. Those are our two.
Yeah, so I just got back. So speaking of the cheeseburger thing,
keep saying the cheeseburgers.
I finished off the two kegs I got from the guy, Kevin's his name, the guy who owns the arcade in Auburn. It's called Out of
AKA
Order.
your buddy Kevin.
Shit, I don't know what his handle on KOB, to be honest. But
I had to put him on the spot.
I met up with our mutual friend, Adam, AKA Adam G.
Adam.
That's more like it.
Yeah. So the two kegs, emptied them Saturday night. So, and Adam had been talking about wanting to go up there for the last couple of weeks. So he's like, let's go there Tuesday. I'm like, all right, man, let's do it. So brought the 2 empty kegs, returned them, and then we hung out. I did a little beer pairing video with them. So look out for that next. Right?
Nice.
Fun.
But,
nice teaser.
That's why you're here, because he just wants to plug his next video.
Totally.
Yeah, do you have a book to plug too while you're at it? Plug your book too while you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping I might get like 40 views instead of my normal 35 views. If
it makes you feel any better, on my pinned videos, they're not that high, like I expected.
Hey,
for all the production.
What was the spice you put on your burger again?
So it was just seasoned salt, and then the other spice was so there's a chain of, I think they're I think they're kind of like sandwich places. It's called Kinder's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Kinders. So Kinder's, they make us spices that you can get at Costco. So it's just called buttery steak seasoning.
That's what butter.
I don't know what's in it.
Does it taste like butter or what? What is it?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe a little bit.
But it's good on a burger?
Yeah. It pretty much works on any meat.
I just put salt and pepper on mine. So
what's the reaction there, Andrew?
It's butter. But it tastes like butt.
Yeah,
and that's what I sorry about that.
Jimbo.
Tastes like
to
butt.
abbreviate. Yeah.
Tastes like
a little bit more.
So I didn't even realize this because I thought
don't we all have tins of Old Bay now?
Yeah.
Actually,
yes, we do.
1997.
I use mine I've been using every time that stuff lasts forever, by the way. Because Buffa gave that to us like 2 or 3 years ago? 2 years ago, at least.
2 years ago, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
I use that every time. I make salmon once a week, and I put that generously on my salmon.
I put on shrimp on the Barbie.
And I swear that thing never empty. Like it never goes
Where's
down.
Gary when he put a shrimp on the Barbie?
Yeah.
You don't put Old Bay on shrimp. It's good.
Yeah.
That and butter. It's delicious.
That stuff lasts forever.
Yeah, I think it replenishes itself in the
You can
they're having babies in there and
you
making
sprinkle
more.
some on, you set it down, and you're like, did this just get heavier?
Yeah. Why can't my beer be like that?
Yes, exactly.
Clark, that's a gift that keeps on giving the whole year. That it is, Edward.
You know what I'd like?
Yeah. Oh, Mark, to get to before I forget, Mean Green in the IRC a while back posted that we should talk about the new TMNT pin.
Oh yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pin finally came out. I forgot to talk about that in the news.
If Brad was in here, he'd call me, "Oh, you're a pin guy now."
Yeah.
Boring.
So, do you guys? I don't know if you guys remember me talking about that like a month or two ago. That was a rumor. But unfortunately, they did not get the voice actors for it. They just got impersonators.
No Corey Feldman.
No Corey Feldman.
Oh no, that's from the movies. Because like the thing is all about.
The cartoon. From the cartoon.
They didn't get the
bad.
cartoon voices either. Yeah,
but that would have been tough too. Because like those are.
How old do you think? How old are those guys now? Because that was like
they were in the
early 90s.
Yeah, they do a lot of cartoon.
Late 80s,
voices.
early 90s.
Oh no, earlier than that. The original
cartoons.
That was definitely 80s.
From the Saturday mornings?
Yeah. That was
87 or 88, something like that. Yeah.
It was before.
Oh yeah, no, that's about right because that's why I wanted to get into karate. It's because the Turtles and karate and the Karate Kid.
I have the original first season of that actually on the server, but like yeah, so I remember watching those back in my house back when I still lived in Illinois. So I was definitely a little kid.
Okay.
When those
they were gonna just make that small episode series that just like
it was just supposed to be the
episodes,
first 5
but
seasons.
It was so popular they had to make more. I think it's in that The Toys That Made Us, I think, or the cartoons that made us. They talk about.
I remember watching. Was it ABC or CBS? It was like every Saturday at like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember waking up at like 6 a.m. being excited for Saturday morning cartoons as a kid.
Do you remember? I don't know if like the local shows you guys had, like, did they have Davy and Goliath before the cartoons would start?
Yeah, it was like a religious show.
Yep.
Hey, Davy.
Oh, really? Davy and Goliath is a religious show?
Yeah. That's the rumor.
Yeah. That's what I hear. Even though Goliath apparently was it the dog?
Yeah,
Goliath.
Yeah, but he didn't shoot anything at his head with a rock or anything.
Did you guys ever have
the dog in the face with a rock?
Shoot rocks at his dog's head.
Did you guys ever have the storybooks with the accompanying record that you would the chimes that you'd turn the page?
Yeah.
I had Gremlins and a Pac-Man one.
I had Star Wars.
but
I had a bunch of Disney ones.
Yeah, Disney ones.
Yeah, I had Disney ones.
Rescuers. I had Rescuers.
I have just a giant. My entire stash of those is in my He-Man lunchbox, He-Man case at my parents' house somewhere with our kitty little record player. But yeah, it's a He-Man case with all the little records that accompany those
45s.
Oh, that's awesome.
God, I haven't looked at those forever. I should pull. I would.
45s. They're probably 33s.
Yeah, they're
the little ones. Yeah, but not 45s.
The little ones. Yeah. When you hear the chimes, turn the page.
Yep. Whoops. Yep. We got off topic a little bit on
sorry about that. Back to the turtle spin.
The I just lost the IRC. The pin, it looks fun. I want to play it, but I was a little disappointed that they took some of the kind of the cool features out of the Pro versus the Premium, you know.
That's right, it's Stern.
Yeah, I always hate that when Stern does that. Yep. So yeah, you got to pay $10,000 if you want the real pin, you know, that kind of thing. So
yeah, I have no idea what that's like.
So yeah, right. So there's a diverter. There's a diverter. There's a diverter where when you shoot up the ramp, there's a diverter, and you can tell the diverter with a button in the middle to what flipper you want to go to. I've never seen that in a pin where a diverter goes to which flipper you want. That's only in the Premium or Limited. So. Yeah. That what was cool is on the diverter they put a little custom sculpted turtle on a turtle flyer, you know, and from the cartoon, that little
Do you have to make that
Hang glider
decision
Hang
on,
glider
like
thing,
really quick,
yeah.
or do you have a set amount of time, or you have to be really quick?
No,
to
the
it's,
decide?
when you
ball comes-
plunge, it's when you plunge the ball, right?
No. When you shoot the ramps, when you shoot the ramps and they come through, they always go down the middle of the screen or the middle of the playfield.
And then the ball
And then
sits
the
there until you
diverter-
decide.
No, you got to hit the. It's always left or right, so you got to tell it which one you want to be on. It'll stay where you have it. So if you want it to always go to the right, you just push the
But you have to
button,
make the
center-
decision
center
before the
button.
ball gets there.
Yeah, so
Your
that's-
center button changes the diverter and it stays there.
it'll stay there. So and then every time you shoot a ramp, either side, it'll keep going to the right flipper until
Right.
you tell it to switch. So it doesn't just move on its own. You're controlling it. So
I
let's
gotcha.
say you have all your shots are on the left side. You'd switch the diverter while you're playing,
Right.
and then you shoot a
Do
ramp
that sound
and
again.
boosh. And then the ball comes down.
Now I
and
can picture it.
whichever ramp, and then you're gonna always catch it on the left, get those shots taken care of, and then if more shots maybe appear on the right.
That's
you
interesting.
switch I've never seen that before. That's
Yeah.
that's innovative. That's cool. The pizza in the middle of the playfield.
Yeah, the little
spins.
magnetic pizza spinner.
Yeah,
It'll hold to 3 balls.
yeah, and it'll spin them.
Yeah, and
there's a
spin 'em.
A
magnet.
tale about a man with 3 balls.
The pro, it only spins one direction. The premium, it goes
Shout out to
back.
Tales from the Crypt.
Premium,
Yeah,
it can
yeah.
reverse and go backwards and forwards.
Interesting.
So that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
At least both of them have a spinning magnet.
Yeah.
The turtle van in the back, which looks cool. It can shoot out
Kinda cool.
four balls out of it. It does.
I like the idea of like you load it up for the multi-ball.
Yeah,
and it
and then it
drops
releases
them all
them.
out for the multi-ball.
That's only
It's
on
like,
premium too. That feature.
They need at
and
least a premium.
One of the
Okay.
worst things that they changed, which I was pissed at, was that the premium has 8 balls and the pro has 6.
What?
So they changed.
So they have an 8-ball
8?
multi-ball?
8-ball
Holy
multi-ball.
fuck.
Wow.
You can build up to. Which
I
is
thought
a
6 was
lot.
a.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
balls on the playfield.
Yeah, 6 is like, but Jesus, 8.
That's what she said.
Yep.
That's a lot of
8?
balls.
It's a
That's
lot
like
of
4
balls.
Do
dudes.
any other pins have? What other pins have 8? I thought 6 was
None.
the max.
Oh, there's a few out there, but they're it's not a lot of them have
Yeah, 6 is but 6 has
I
been pretty
think-
standard for a long time though.
I
'Cause like
think
even my Star Trek and Judge Dredd have 6
They
balls.
have 6. Yeah, and I know Carrie's Tales from the Crypt has 6.
Yeah, so 6 has been like
6
kinda like
is
the
usually
normal.
no higher than that usually, but 8's pretty. But I
8's
just
a
don't like when
lot.
they take features out like that. So it's like, why can't they have 8
It's-
as well?
It's
It's the
censorship.
car. It's a car system. Yeah. Like, yeah, you want those bells and whistles? Well,
You got to
can't-
pay
you know.
another $2,000.
It
and
is-
you gotta,
Our here's our original idea, but for you, if you want the entry level, we're just gonna remove these,
So,
and then
I-
you have a different game.
But there was an interesting thing, and I will praise this about Ghostbusters. The Magnus Slings is totally crazy and innovative and insane
and fun. Yeah.
on Ghostbusters. Like that
wow.
upgrade from the Pro to the premiums and LEs, like that's a big gameplay difference.
Mhm.
Having those Magnus Slings on there, like that was innovative enough to like make it like, all right, you guys created this brand new technology that's never been used before
No, or again.
or again. And I will say that's one of my most favorite parts about that game. So like, it's cool. It's got like the Ghostbusters has the ecto goggles.
Yeah.
That's just flash, right? It's like
Yeah.
something you barely even notice. You do notice it,
I like that it interacts. So you hit things and they
Yep.
explode.
and
you
it
do
does
and
things.
stuff,
But
yeah.
like the Magnus Slings, when those things are going fucking crazy,
wow, they make a weird noise too. They're
yeah, it does like the little ghosty sound to it. It
Mhm.
changes the gameplay of the whole game. 'Cause
Holy shit!
you have
Buffett's
no
back.
idea where those are going to go when they
Holy God.
what
Buffett.
Buffett's back.
Buffett's here. Wow.
Buffett?
we
Bob,
we have
can you
more
hear us?
participants who are just doing audio only than we do have the video. So
Three
Buffett, hey
participants,
dude.
audio only. Well, Carrie's no audio right now.
Yeah. So anyway, so that upgrade for Ghostbusters makes sense.
Well,
but,
I
like,
agree about paying. Like, obviously,
that's a logical like pay for upgrade. Some of these
like,
other ones you
I
guys are
can't
talking about.
imagine playing Wonka without the Wonkavator ball lock because and now I've heard on some on Pinside people talking about the different about playing the standard versus the LE or the collector's edition, and it's not just all about the lock itself, but because that's there on the play field, that actually helps with a lot of the gameplay because the ball can't travel into that area like it can on the standard. And so there's a lot of strategy with that too. But of all the multi-balls, that's my favorite one because there's a lot of cool shit that happens when you get the ball to travel up into that lock, when it engages with the shaker motor and stuff. And now with my pin stadium lights, I was telling Carrie about this. I discovered something new with my pin stadium lights that I did not know was happening. It was very strange. I was like half asleep one day. I was just barely waking up, and I'm like, I know that my lights, even though they're just solid white, they're supposed to also interact with the flashers and the shaker motor, and they're actually physically wired up to the shaker motor. But I don't know if I've really noticed any sort of difference during those modes where the shaker motor is engaged, and it's they call it UV light / flasher is what it is. So I emailed the guy with the Penn Stadiums, his name's Scott, who does them, who's amazing with customer service. He responds really quick. And he's like, oh, yeah. Because I was like, is there any way to test these just with the flashers, the UV mode or whatever? And he's like, yeah, he gave me some instructions. And he's like, yeah, if you're not experiencing anything, you might want to check your connection. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I got me thinking. So I was like, well, let's verify the connection into the shaker motor, because they use these really thin little pins for wiretaps that you plug into the Molex. So I left the play field up, and sure enough, with my multimeter, I'm like, I'm not getting a solid connection. So I fixed it. Holy fuck, what a difference that made. Because the next time I got the Wonkavator multiball, when you get the Wonkavator multiball, the whole thing, it shows a clip of Willy Wonka where he presses the button and the Wonkavator goes, and and everything, like the shaker motor goes nuts. And so when that happens, the white lights actually turn to UV lights. They get all purplish, and they get stronger and stronger as the shaker motor gets, and it changed everything. I was like, holy, and it interacts with like certain shots you hit. It just changed everything. And I just can't imagine playing the game without that Wonkavator ball. Like, that's so, like, I don't know what it is, but like I get, because everything gets dark when you get a ball locked in there, everything gets dark. They shine some spotlights on the Wonkavator lock, and the ball launches straight up into the lock there. And then when you get the Wonkavator ball lock, it unleashes, you can watch it release those 3 balls. And I don't know, it's stupid, but it really tickles me, not to sound super flamboyant, but it's really, I get tickled
but at least
every time that happens.
But at least on that, when you get the pro version, it still has
a virtual
Wonkavator, but it's a virtual lock. What I'm talking about is where they completely remove shit out. Like, you're moving a feature where it uses the 8 balls for some certain multi-ball thing.
Well, that's
gone.
Like 8 versus 6 that's crazy different.
Splitting the
that's
what they've
done. The virtual ball lock thing.
Instead of the diverter, it now has this ugly metal thing that doesn't look like anything. It's just this metal flap that just holds the ball for a moment and then it releases it. I don't even know what it's for. Why they even bother? Why not
just put a post there and let it bounce left or right based on randomized?
What it is instead of the 2 ramps coming as I don't know, it's weird. Instead of a diverter, it's just a flap that holds either side at the same time, and then it lifts up to let the ball through. And I don't even know why.
Does the software control which way the ball goes, or
no? It's no diverting.
So just put in a post.
Still,
with
why even have
rubber
anything there?
And let it bounce either left or bounce right, and make it be random.
Yeah, no, they don't make it where it diverts at all. It just stops the ball for a moment and then releases it, kind of like Monster Bash does.
Right.
But yeah, just holds it for a little bit, then releases it. I don't know. It's just, I don't like it. That's the thing that bugs me about Stern and their pins, where they remove
worthless,
cool stuff.
Good goddamn freeloading son of a bitch.
Well, but like what Jim was talking about, like with the Wonkavator, but are you talking about the OEM one, or are you talking about the upgraded one that you did?
Are you talking?
Jim?
Who are you talking to? Me?
Jim. Yeah.
So when are you talking about the original, the OEM one, or are you talking about like
the entry level one,
right? Versus
they
like
don't,
the factory version of your LE that you got, or I don't know what the level of yours is called.
Premium and LE have the ball lock. And it's a mechanical thing in the back.
Physical
thing.
One,
okay.
Yeah, mechanical
holds
one. And that takes up a substantial amount of space in the back area, and it's lit different. So like when you look at the standard, that's missing, and there's not lights there. So like people complain about how dark that is. And there's all this empty space. In fact, people are always like, how can I mod this to make it to fill up that space? So
just to let you know, I've listened to interviews with pinball designers, and they'll tell you they all tell you the same thing. They build their pin as a premium from the get-go. That's what that's their vision. They have a certain budget they have to stay within usually, and then they try to put as much as they can into it. So what ends up happening is then Stern comes in and starts pulling shit out of that and go, okay, that's your pro.
That's dumb.
That's your pro. Yeah. So
that's a cop out. It's so
shit.
Like,
it's shitty.
Yeah.
I hate the two.
That's one of the
pins
lures I used to have. Well, I still do with fucking American Pinball with their Houdini, with their Oktoberfest and whatever because they only have one model. You pay for exactly what their vision was, what the designers had, and you don't have to worry about like, if I do this, I get these bells and whistles. You get it all for one price. That's it.
What sucks
that's
is
how all pins should
what
be.
if you like the artwork better on the Pro, but you're buying a premium? The stuff like that happens too.
Someone posted on Pinside.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I think I like actually the back glass for the Pro model of Ghostbusters.
Oh.
In the premium, it's like, it's fine. I like the side art better, but like the back glass, I think Pro looks better.
What was the difference? Was it the goo all over them or something? Or?
No, because it was the LE had the Slimer green on everything. But the Pro was just a simpler thing, whereas like you can kind of see, but like it's just the design of it, basically. It just doesn't, like looking at it, it's like, I like the design of the Pro better. So I thought about actually replacing my back glass with the Pro black glass.
Someone with a standard Wonka, where you don't get the powder coated everything, you know, it's just black or whatever. They sent theirs in and had them all powder coated like a Wonka purple, and it looked pretty cool. But there's a big controversy about that because the art varies dramatically between all the levels of the Wonkas too.
Oh yeah, they're real stripped down, boring on the standard.
3 levels for the Wonkas?
Yeah. There's a limited, and there's the premium, and then Pro or the
right. So it's the same as Stern.
Yeah,
same
whatever you want to
very
call
similar.
them. Yeah, they're same shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking at the art for the turtle stuff too, since that's
it's
where
all
the
right.
whole thing started.
It looks like the cartoon.
The art, holy busy though. It's just like there's not an inch on that plate on anywhere on that game where there's not art.
Yeah,
I have a little bit of issue.
It's not
with,
my favorite style for their artwork.
I don't like these.
There's no
big,
hot dogs.
These big target flap instead of like. Remember how in the old pins where the targets are like of each letter, like you spell Tron, it's TRON, right?
Yeah.
And there's a target for each one.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, Stern's been doing this giant, wide rectangle target flap that just hit it and it represents all of them. It's like kind of a cheaper way of going. And Turtles has one on each side, one for Splinter that spells Lair, and then there's one for April O'Neil, and that's a ball save if you hit her, and a bonus if you're in the middle of a mode. But yeah, it's just this giant flap, and I don't know if I like that. And I kind of like that you got.
I like the individual drop targets or just at least single targets.
Yeah. So that's another thing that Stern's doing. That's like cutting corners. So I don't know. But the graphics are fine and everything, so I want to play one.
Yeah, I mean art style. I mean, it looks like the Turtles.
Looks like the show.
Archie Turtles cartoon.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, I've long thrown out the hope that like Eastman and Laird would do like their style of a Turtles. They fucking basically wrote that shit off. So
yeah,
me as a fan,
and it wasn't the popularity of that isn't the level that the cartoon show
not
was.
even close. Not even close.
So,
yeah, the cartoon started it. I mean, the reality is like the people who like the comic, the old black and white comic, from back in the day. Yeah, we are
far and few between.
we don't exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even though like Kevin Eastman's fucking design and like how he drew the turtles was so sharp and so beautiful and so you don't see that artwork. There's a rawness.
It's kind of a raw to it,
yeah. And then Peter Laird's versions were a little bit more bubbly. He
rounded.
Had like the super round, big cheek turtles.
Yeah,
especially. That's actually kind of like the more the direction they went with the cartoon. But yeah. I mean, Kevin Eastman, just his art style I just like a lot more. But yeah, either way, it's cool.
Zordon Rangers.
I know. Look at he's angry too.
Pink Ranger's the hot one.
But it's cool. The theme is still alive. I mean, I like some of the newer cartoons they've done with turtles. I mean, it's not grown up like I want it to be, but it's still cool.
I want to see the turtles from the comic.
Is down.
Wouldn't it be great if they made an animated version of the comic where they show them really fuck up Shredder, where they throw stars in him, and then they shove a sword in his stomach.
Yeah,
it goes out his back. It was so violent.
Yeah, I would. I mean, like, fuck, man. If they actually did that, I would seriously like as an LE of this thing, like the same game. Just different art on the same game.
Well, you could just put on your own art.
Yeah, I could buy like a $10,000 pin and then redo the artwork myself.
Yeah, that wouldn't cost much.
No big deal there.
Giant stickers.
I'd have to strip down the play field, recreate all the artwork on that.
Oh, you're talking about actually the playfield itself.
Well, yeah, because like the playfield's got. I mean, right, to do it.
Yeah, I guess if you want it to match.
Thing.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. So yeah, I'll buy a $10,000 pin and then put $20 or $30,000 into it to replace all that stuff.
And you're risking fucking something up doing that too. So
yeah, so I don't need it that bad.
No, it's just a dream.
It's just a dream. But if they had like an alternate like LE version, like the Disney Plus thing, where it's like you'd have the adult version as opposed to the Archie version of these.
Dave from Buffalo,
movies.
What's going on here?
It's like a Blair Witch.
Rangers, Tommy needs your help.
Rangers.
Well, I like
the
that.
Morphine grid is down.
That is kind of like, when you have a, like, I don't know, duck call, or maybe with a seance that, like the
Alpha
the medium can bring forth the spirits. What all we needed to do was talk about Old Bay, and we got Buffett on.
Yeah.
Yay! That's right.
True.
See, Bart, just take a sanitizer, wipe down that chassis. Buffett will be fine. Right?
Yeah, I'm cool. I don't care. I've been working on it this whole time.
Fantastic.
I don't give a shit.
Right, by the time it gets to you, it will have spent several days.
Okay, let's take a poll.
Well,
raise your hand if you in your spice cabinet if you have a little thing of Old Bay.
And I use it once a week at least.
Yeah, keep your hand raised if you have more than one.
Oh
no,
more than one.
I have mine from
Buffett.
Buffett
Is holding his hand up too.
I got all four hands up.
Yeah.
Hand.
I think I have either I either have 2 or 3 containers of Old Bay in my.
Yeah,
because you can't
I
remember.
got one in the kitchen and one in my room. It's my salt shaker.
That shit seriously lasts forever. I swear it's like Mock was saying that. I swear it really replenishes itself because I use that once a week on my salmon, and
it's good,
that
isn't
stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, of course it is, but I put that. I swear it's heavier. When
You
I
don't
put
need
the
a lot of
after.
it either. So
No.
It's a great season.
it's
salt.
very
Yeah,
strong.
That
and
stuff's
especially
been
seafood.
done.
Yeah.
Buffett, that was like 2
Well,
years.
yeah,
Was that 2
it's-
years, 3 years? That was 2 years ago, right?
I think it was 2 years ago.
It's the
Man, that
best.
stuff.
I
is-
still have my
lasts
original
forever.
Buffett Old Bay.
My parents brought back some from Texas. So Old Bay.
I don't usually put it on regular fish though. I just like salt and pepper and butter.
For those of you who
I
had that
do
little
Old Bay and
can, that is a
paprika.
collector's tin now.
Oh,
Ooh.
They don't make them
I just
anymore.
got I just got a plastic jar.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Last
will
time I
never
saw it,
throw
they
it away.
were.
Oh shit! Yeah, I still have the tin.
Yeah, don't throw it away. If you do not want it anymore, send one back. I do not own one.
No, I'll be real.
Oh, you don't own any?
Plastic.
No.
In about
No, I
10
don't own little
years
tin.
when
I
I
don't
run out.
own any
We're gonna
little
make a
tins.
little sculpture
Oh,
out of
that's
them
not
for you,
okay.
Buffett.
you mean the tin for the Old
I think-
Bay? Is that what you're
Yeah, I
talking
think I have a
about?
little tin and a big tin.
Yeah,
You
I've
keep-
got the medium and the large tin, but I don't have the small tin.
keep your weed.
Give
in
it a 10, a 10, fucking 10.
Behave.
10.
So, Buff, I gotta ask. So I just had it for the first time 2 or 3 weeks ago up here. We're at my brother's place. Things were had and social distancing because they stayed in the house and me and the boys stayed out. When does squirrel season start by you?
Usually it's in November, I think.
Well, we already started.
Starts for September
and
for
it was
us.
good.
Yeah, oh yeah. It goes good on lots of little different things. It doesn't.
Obey on squirrel meat. Is that what you're implying?
I'm going to tell you what. One thing that you'll be pleasantly surprised on. Put a little bit of Old Bay or a little bit of butter, and if you like corn on the cob, put a little bit of butter on it so it has a little bit of moisture on it, and then sprinkle a little bit of Old Bay on it, and it will make that corn pop like you won't believe.
Wow,
It will work its way into the kernels every time.
It is
Popcorn.
So good.
Is it good on cake?
How about chicken? Is it good on chicken?
Yes,
when
I
I bake a chicken, it has nothing but Old Bay on it. It is red Old Bay.
I'm gonna buy some
How
tomorrow.
about spaghetti?
Buffett, it is great to have you back on.
It's fucking universal,
the first
man.
time in a while, bud.
I put it on
Great to hear
everything.
your voice.
If you want it on ice cream,
I was gonna say ice cream next.
No, don't do it on ice cream.
How about banana splits?
oh no, little bit of salt, little spice on ice cream. That's good stuff.
Salty sweet.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good on just a lot. Just try it on a variety of things.
The corn sounds good. I'd try it on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you an excuse to pull out the Old Bay. It's in the back of the spice
try
cabinet.
Try it in your
Come
coffee
on,
tomorrow
man.
morning.
Tasty and delicious.
Yeah.
Coffee,
I put it on Gak's cheeseburger with the skirt.
I put it.
Gift for
I
you.
make,
It's chocolate.
when I grill Brussels sprouts,
penis.
it's one of the things I put on.
On what?
Do Brussels sprouts
Nice
on the,
guy.
when I throw them on the grill.
Gak knows.
It's good. It's good with vegetables. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
good on green
Magic.
beans
Old
too.
Bay IPA.
It's
Yeah.
really good on green beans. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. But
This is the old Bay episode.
Yeah.
Is that poop? Right.
At least I can bring something to the
Nice.
conversation.
Well, Buffett, it is great to hear you again.
Yeah.
It's been quite some
How's
time.
it taste, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I can always see. I was just who was I just talking to where I'm like, well, if I'm not around to play the sound, people either do it for me or I get requests. When we play this is what Gak's doing. This is a night of playing poker with Dave.
Yeah.
Dave will be like, Jim, I haven't been getting enough sounds out of you tonight, and I'll be like, well, are you paying for my next entry fee? Because
So, Dave,
There we go.
Dave, have you called your
I
local power company?
swear, me playing sounds is a tell when I play poker. It
All of
dictates
them,
whether I have a good
it's
hand or
less than,
not.
like,
Now
10
I'm more
people,
conscious
They
of
don't
it.
know it.
Dave looks like he's going to tell us a ghost story in a minute.
So I
It's
feel like I'm in,
goosebumps.
It's goosebumps.
I feel like I'm in the video of Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. Galileo, Galileo.
Yeah.
El Figaro.
So, Dave, my buddy Adam, aka Adam G, just texted me. I guess
Enclave.
yeah, he's
KLV, sorry.
watching right now, and he wanted me to forward a message to you. He said, tell Dave from Buffalo he looks like Zordon from the Power Rangers.
Mock's not the only one. Yeah.
And fuck the Bills. He has to say that every time. Fuck the Bills.
Everybody does.
The Buffalo Bills, apparently.
He
Yeah.
still has a Bud Light.
Oh.
Drinking
Were
Bud
you
Light
like
from
camping
dark.
somewhere or something?
Someone get a screen
No,
grab of that. Yeah.
No, I lost power.
Oh shit!
There was a crazy lightning storm. I actually brought my whole family in the basement because I thought it was a tornado. We got all this hail. I'm like, my wife and son were asleep. I'm like, come in the basement. I can't even see outside. I think this is crazy. The whole house is shaking.
So it's like a preservation thing. You have to drink all the beer before it gets warm, right?
Yeah.
The power outage.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
I have a generator. When I get up in the morning, if it's still out, I'll plug it in for the refrigerator.
There
But
you
I
go.
have a backup water pump for my for my basement. But I did get some water right under your Hypersports, and it's weird because I'm like, where's this coming from? Like, it's not from the wall. It wasn't crazy. It was just like a puddle, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I just put some towels down and unplugged everything because I have extension cords on the ground. But it
It's too
wasn't.
bad you don't have a swimmer.
Oh yeah. Well,
But
no, Hypersports. the hyper sports, you know, it does have the swim event.
Oh,
does it? I
Although
haven't
it's
played that one yet.
Yes,
Dave,
although it's running track.
Dave, is your
although it's
backup
running track
pump
and field.
keeping up with the water?
Yeah,
That's what
it
he was
stopped
saying.
raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stopped raining. No, it is, and thank God it went
Okay.
on. I haven't tested it in like a couple of years, and I was sitting there. I'm like, why
You
is
need
the
to
water
test
running?
those batteries like every couple of months, dude.
No.
Especially
Mine
in the
is,
spring.
no, mine's not mine's a water backup. It uses the water pressure. It doesn't. It's powerless. It just uses the water line and then starts like a siphon. There's like a pump. Yeah, it's total water. You don't need
Oh,
power
it's a
at all.
siphon draw. Okay.
Yeah. And but the water, my computer desk was right next to the water meter in the basement. And I'm here, click. I'm like, why is it going? The shower's on. I'm like, oh, the pump's on. You know, and it's because I've only tested it a few times. I have to get like a 5-gallon bucket and dump it in the thing, and then run back.
Rangers.
You know, I can't do.
I keep going back to fucking mock joke.
What?
Your Zordon, your
Did you
fucking
like that?
Zordon
I
keeps
said-
making me laugh every
I
time.
said it
I
first.
can't-
I get.
Yeah.
Did you? Sorry.
You get all the credit.
Yep, there you go.
I gotta get credit for
No,
something.
shut up. No, I was kidding.
Rangers.
Fighting for credits for
Everybody,
for this show.
all the girls get girls
I was thinking
go
some
gaga
character
for
on
the Green
Tron.
Ranger. Rangers.
I was thinking
Rangers, there's a
some
weird,
character on Tron.
really weird monster in the person with a costume on that makes no sense in the park. Go save everyone.
Rangers, my mouth is blurred, so I could keep reusing this footage over and over again for every episode.
Hey-o.
Yeah. Spoilers.
But Dave, it's been
he
like an
looks
hour
my
and a
dentist.
half. Just call your power co and find out what's going on. If it's only
no,
15, 20 houses.
No, it's the whole block because I can
The whole movie.
Okay. So it's
it's not just me.
okay. So
Yeah,
it's gone for
I'm outside.
for a reporting post. Okay. So
Yeah, I'm
He's wearing a
outside now. I
cricket
can
shirt.
hear the.
yeah, saw that
Yeah.
before the lights went out.
I
And,
got about.
Gak is wearing some of her merch available on Teesprings.
Don't worry, Dave's reconnecting.
That's right.
Is
Yeah.
it available on Teespring?
No.
No. That's limited edition shit right there.
Yes,
Yep.
it was.
I'm sorry, front and back.
Uh,
Oh, don't turn too fast. Or turn and
Ooh, yeah,
there you go.
right. Yeah,
Little
exactly.
lower, little lower.
Yep. And
I wore that
Uh,
shirt
butt-
for like the
Butt
second
down,
time
shoulders
a
up,
couple
shoulders
weeks
back,
ago.
shoulders towards
Yep.
the camera. Shoulders. No, okay, your whole back towards the camera.
And
Sorry.
Straighten your back. There you go.
There you go. Oh yeah. Oh
I got
and then
the
squat
shirt
down.
Nice.
There you go.
yeah.
All right,
Perfect.
Now,
to
now
your
grab
left,
your
to
ankles.
your right, to your right.
Yep.
To your right, just a bit. Your right
Other
side.
right.
You're
You're
right.
the, you're the right.
Towards your pinball.
Yeah,
Towards your pinball,
I'm looking at the back of my bedroom here. My office.
Take a half
There- there
a
you
step
go.
to
There-
the,
there's
to the
a-
right.
To
There
your
you go.
right.
That's
There
a.
you go.
That's best I can do
He's
for
like,
it.
I'm tired of
No,
Yeah.
grab your ankles.
You guys went.
this.
Right,
Put
I
your
have
right
to take
foot
the
in.
shirt off and turn
Take
it around.
your-
and do the whole
Take your
thing.
right
Yeah.
foot out.
Yes, yeah.
Put your right foot in, and now shake it all about.
And we're
Yeah.
doing
Do
the
the
Oh,
hokey
nice. I
pokey.
like the smoking touch there,
Hey.
Dave.
Hey, come on now.
Blow right into your phone there.
Andrew,
I used to be
Gall,
addicted to the hokey pokey, but I
Yeah.
turned myself
I was
around.
Oh,
I'm kicking
Andrew,
old
you
school.
got
I
him
just peed
blurry.
outside.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, there we go. Now you're focused.
Hey, what's
Sorry.
the
Where's the power wheels?
what's
magic.
the what's the curfew? Is it the same across every state or different or what? Are they
Eight
doing?
I think
PM
it's
here.
different. 10 p.m. here
How about
right now.
California? What is it, Carrie? Do you know?
It was
8:30.
8 p.m.
Well, I mean, we don't. Regionally, we have my county has an 8:30 curfew.
Yeah, I want to
But
say
it va- but it
Sacramento
varies.
County is similar, but where I'm at, I don't think there is one in Placer County.
Not all the counties I think have curfews,
You trying to
and they
get
actually
that
had they had
Try
like
to
a
fuck it
little
up.
they had like a little chart on the news of like
little
in
more,
this
you fix the
county
crease.
it's this, like these are all the ones with the 7 p.m. These are all the ones with the 8. We're
Did
at
you guys-
8:30.
Did you guys see this footage of someone steals a forklift and they drive it right into a Best Buy and start looting it?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard
Fuck
about
Best
it.
Buy, no commission.
That was
my
in Southern
ass.
California, right?
Wait, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it, Mom.
There it goes. Watch.
Yeah.
There, you see the. So they drive it right in.
geez.
Watch.
Wow.
Watch. There it
What a
goes.
bunch of fucking
There we
assholes.
go.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's no,
God.
there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
reason.
they
There's no
really
excuse
have
for
uh
Yeah, you're just being a fucking criminals.
Yeah.
You're a fucking dick.
Exactly.
They really have George
and
Floyd's
it takes
memory
away from
in mind when they do
the
that.
message. I mean, that's
I
the
know.
thing. Like
It's the worst part.
this
But no,
fucks
that's
over all the
rioting.
peaceful,
That's
all the
not
people who are trying to make a
protesting.
statement.
Yeah, I know.
And it takes away from it. So that's the
pieces of
part that
shit
pisses
come
me
out.
off.
Yeah.
Way
Right,
to
like
feed our
it's-
dumbass president is basically where that goes.
But hey, so on a, can I just say
debasing
on
the value of the entire message of the
Carrie,
fucking
disclaimer,
movement.
go.
You're 100%
yeah,
right.
well, yeah, no, it's just on a completely different note
Oh,
because
we
I
don't
tried
have
a
we
couple
need a
times to.
political
I'm
one.
like, oh, segue, but I could never like quite.
So do you want
jump
to talk
in
about
enough.
turtles a little bit more?
No.
But a segue from the
kidding.
turtles
Carrie,
pin. We'll do it
I want
that.
to hear Carrie talk about looters and Trump.
Carrie, do you have a
Okay.
rant?
No, she wants to talk about
No
something
rant.
else.
No, I had my first pin. I had my first pinside post today.
Oh,
So
wow.
I've been trying
Whoa.
since
Popped her
since
pinside
Jim talked
cherry
about
today, huh?
pinside.
Oh my God.
I know it's like and I'm like,
You're like the
nobody's
third
responded.
girl on there.
Well, it's not getting me any fucking answers for what it's worth. So
Did
far,
you
no
change
one's
the photo?
responded. to my
Change your
pin.
name to
I put-
Big Breast Carrie.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it cost you an arm and a leg?
No. How
Big
about
breast-
crazy
breasted
redhead
Carrie.
69?
Crazy
Oh, there you
redhead
go.
69 PM me
XXX.
for naked
Yeah.
pics.
Yeah,
The longest
exactly.
username
Yeah.
ever.
Put
You'll
your
get
link
lots
to
of
your thread in your
PMs.
chat so I can read it.
Yeah.
I'll respond to you whether I'm right or wrong. How about that?
Right. I know. Or, yeah, you could just have people being like, "Wow, great question."
Hey, Dave,
So
turn down your lighting a little bit. We can see too much of you.
Oh,
now.
geez, yeah. We can see your eyebrows.
Oh, Dave has to go.
David-
Oh,
oh,
I gotta charge the phone.
Jim,
Good night,
look-
Dave.
Bye,
Jim, look
good
what you
day.
did.
All right, I'll expect your
What you
messages
did.
and emails tomorrow.
Yeah,
gonna miss-
like game night tomorrow night.
Right. Yeah.
All right, see you,
Electricity back
Davey.
on in time for.
No,
So-
Carrie,
Yes,
Carrie, that's
exactly.
impressive. Like, just
Yeah.
to piggyback on your story real quick, and then I'm just gonna stay focused on you. I think I've been a member of Pinside since like 2012 or 2013, something like that. And it was like a year ago I realized I was not an what's the next level, Mock?
Verified? Is it
verified member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was
You have
like,
to
well, fuck
pay.
it. Well, no, so I was like, I reached out to Mock and I was like, dude, can you verify me?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I don't know.
Otherwise, you have to pay.
I wasn't smart.
Yeah.
I wasn't smart
Yeah.
enough to do that. I paid the fucking $5.
I paid too. And
I
you
don't know.
pay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I paid too.
I think I'm not sure.
I didn't
but
know
think-
Keith
I-
at the
I
time,
think my
so I just
account might have
paid.
been older than Mock's, but he verified me.
Yeah,
So
is
it's
that
like,
weird?
but ding.
I forgot
Yeah.
about
So
that.
I've like been a lurker on Pinside for fucking 8 years now, and I
Yeah.
think I maybe have made my first post.
I haven't posted in a while, but I still
think
go on there and read
I-
stuff.
Maybe
now
not.
and then.
But either way, I was just looking for a way to upgrade my account to the next level, and I reached out to Mock.
I
was like,
used to
You
post
have
a
to
verify
lot.
me as a Pinside.
Yeah, you have to be verified. I ran into this because I was just a regular
Yeah, you can't
member or
post.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I could, but
can.
once
But there's a thing. There's a different.
if the thread that you're commenting on is hot or whatever, or has so many posts, you have to be verified, and that's when that's what
Oh,
happened with
interesting.
Wonka. I had
know if
posted
I've
once or
even done
twice, and then they had enough responses where it's like, no, you have to be verified.
Yeah, but it's your own
apply to
post.
this.
Part of this conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
How
Yeah,
do you know if you're verified or not?
Right?
You-
Yeah.
they'll tell you.
You've go to your profile. There's a thing that'll tell you about your status. I mean, Pinside's actually a really great forum setup. I wish Claude had something similar.
Yeah, it's
The
pretty
only thing
slick.
is though, like,
Yeah.
do they have do they have a mobile version of it? Because like
Yeah, I
I
think so.
haven't. That's
I
not
just
Tapa
u-
Talk.
I just
I mean,
use
just using
the
the web
web
interface.
browser and it
Oh,
works great.
mobile.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
works pretty
The
good.
web browser does.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I don't
don't
like about it though is it doesn't remember your password.
Yeah,
You
login.
got to put it in every single
Yeah.
time on your mobile. And then
So anyway,
remember
Carrie,
it
so I
more.
didn't mean to interrupt that, but congratulations on your post on Pinside. I'm not sure if I've posted ever, but like I just want to say, like, I was really happy that Mock confirmed me as being like,
Yay!
Yeah,
No
and
problem.
I'm looking at my profile, and I don't know if
Sorry.
I'm verified or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't get it.
Come to me,
Yeah.
I'll verify everyone.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Well, if you try to
Oh,
post,
He's
and you
giving 'em away.
can't. Yeah.
Okay,
Give
so
it
I did.
away.
Well, I would well, I made my thread. I started a new topic under the.
what was your topic?
So
Apparently, I'm verified. but I don't know how I did it.
Big-breasted. No, I'm just kidding.
Anal optional.
well,
Big
actually,
breasted.
before I get onto the topic,
Anal PM me.
yeah, exactly.
no PM.
God.
Eric could hang
You got to
out
get their
from home.
attention somehow.
Wow.
Right, I know, because clearly my topic.
Is it poop?
Right.
Is it poop?
Is it poop?
But
You gotta have a little more
I
of
will.
this.
What I actually, before I go on to what the topic was, exactly.
right, it stinks.
Anal PM me, triple X, not big enough. The
Big on your dick.
what I will say is, doing my first post on Pinside, it's so much better than Cloth. Oh my God.
Why do you say that?
So you find the sub forum that you want to list in, and then so I type it all in. So the pictures, adding pictures, super easy.
Super
You
easy.
fucking-
Same
yeah,
with YouTube videos.
It's way.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
just pop it in, it's
automatically.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You
Clav is like 1997.
Oh, it's
yeah,
so shitty.
so you drag and drop.
The VB bulletin board system.
It
is,
automatically resizes everything. You can
Yep.
see it doing its thing. And for whatever reason, like on my computer, they were rotated correctly, but they were not rotated correctly on Pinside. So I'm like, oh shit. But then you just hover over, and you can use the little tool. It will
Mhm.
rotate. I could rotate my
Right.
pictures. I could
Mhm.
change the order that the pictures showed up
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
much easier.
but wait,
is better.
There's more.
There's more.
More.
There's
More.
more. Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
really?
Billy Mays. What else did you discover?
Willie Mays. Does it seal?
So now I've gotten, I've typed out my text. I have my pictures in there in the right order, oriented correctly. And I go to post and it's like, hey, you haven't linked to a game. If this is about a specific game, please go back and do that, because we want to increase our information bank. And then you can go up top and then type in. You don't have to have the exact title.
Right.
Just fucking start typing things
And then
in,
you
and
can
it's like,
select it.
here it is, and then you just click to link
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So everybody who's interested in this game,
It
It's
automatically
like-
prompts you and connects that shit.
right? And so
Like
you
a
feel like,
clever
oh,
blog.
hey, yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, wow, this actually could be like, oh, I'm looking for all the, items on this particular topic.
Legitimately, VB bulletin board, which is what we use on Clav, that shit is at least 15 years old. I made jokes about the 90s, but it's more like 2005, 2006.
It's garbage.
It's so old. And it was old when that
I
shit
hate
was.
having the
That's right,
bunch of
it
images
stinks.
there. You gotta like put them on
Oh, yeah.
You have to know how to do it.
Shit. It's
Yep.
and then you gotta
Yeah.
know the
You
right
have to learn like
code to
the
put in,
tags and the
image
BB code.
slash image
Yeah.
and all that. It's like
Mhm.
so ghetto.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's basically it's like designed
every
for
post I
programmers,
make, I
basically.
have to preview it before I post it because I'm unsure.
It's shitty.
Yep.
There's
And there's like
one
the weird
there's one
hacks you
real
have to do for
terrible
your
thing about
Wait,
Pinside, though.
Yeah,
What's
and
that-
it doesn't.
what's that,
it
Buffett?
does-
There's one real terrible thing about it is the one thing I absolutely hate about Pinside is there's no way for you to get an email notification when somebody posts to your thread.
Oh, I was curious about that.
Yeah.
No way
I've
to
never
do it.
started a thread there, so I don't know.
You have to, you basically have to
go
favorite
back.
it and then just refresh your favorites. It's kind of like
Oh,
if you
interesting.
subscribe to a thread on Clav.
I love that
Right.
about K-Love. It
Okay.
every time somebody posts it.
All right, we'll give you that one thing.
Yeah, we'll give them that one thing. And I just
all right,
thank
get
you.
out of here.
Thank you for the tip. I just favorited it. I favorited my topic so I can go back and find
You know what
it.
I like is if you're looking for like a game, you're looking for games in your area, you can they take you
the
to a
regional
map,
stuff.
a regional. So there's a circle you can make
Yep.
on a map
Yep.
to show, okay, I want to look for games in this area,
Yep.
and it'll keep your search to that area
It remembers
in your marketplace.
You can
search.
you can also, if you have
Yeah.
a wish list or something, if you're looking for a game, you can basically subscribe to that game or whatever for this for sale section, and anytime someone posts that game for
Oh,
sale, you
I've
get
never
an
tried
email
that before.
notification.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I was getting them for a while. I was like, why am I getting it? Because I was getting them for Wonka. I think I mistakenly added that, but I was like, oh, that's a cool feature actually.
They have some other cool things too, where you can put initials in, sort of like you would when you win, you put your
Yeah.
3 initials
I like
in. You
that
can put
too.
that in your
Yep.
little icon,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they have some
But
cool
that's-
little things in there.
Yeah.
But it
Bob
is
doesn't
nice.
have
Like
that.
when I
Yeah.
post my Wonka videos on the
How
Wonka
custom.
thread or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't need any, because I was like, where are the tags and stuff? What do I need to do?
Yeah, what the
And I started doing the YouTube tags, and it's like, oh, I don't even need to do that.
It just
Holy
pops the
shit.
video right
Yeah.
into the page.
Oh, this is awesome.
Like it
Yeah.
should.
Mhm.
Let's get
Right?
to 2020 already. Jeez.
You people in your first world pinside problems. Good lord.
Right.
Yeah. There's people getting like rubber bulleted in between the eyes, and we're
bitching about like how
we're bitching about how you can post a YouTube link.
Right. Yeah.
You know what grinds my
Yeah.
gears is posting on this forum.
No,
and, yeah.
fuck that. I mean, it's true. Like Clov is so fucking antiquated. It's bad.
AKA old, AKA
I mean,
crappy,
they were
AKA
like-
reality is like
It's
yeah,
funny. I look at
still
posts that
usable,
I've
but
done.
it's not.
I was
It's-
just
it's
on my
usable.
on my YouTube channel. I was because I have a bunch of unlisted videos that I used for like Clov and stuff when I had a problem. And the other day I was like, should I delete these? And then I'm like, no, they're it's not causing me any damage to just keep these videos up as unlisted, because like someone in 10 years might be searching for the same problem, and come across my post post, and it'll be a dead link. And nothing irritates me more than when I'm searching for something and I see a post, a thread, and it's like, this is my exact problem, and they're all dead links,
dead videos. That's worthless.
Yeah.
There's no archival value to that information.
Let's let Carrie talk about her question that she posted.
Yeah. So my question. So I did in fact post to the
Thanks, Mark.
to a question. So after I have had for now a while, over a year, the
pitch and bat,
that Williams pitch and bat, 1966 pitch and bat, and
so cool.
Yeah, and so finally, and it's in gorgeous shape, and it's huge. I'm like, okay, this thing can't be
It is big.
have such a yeah, it's bigger than a normal pinball. I'm like, it cannot have such a big footprint and be non-working for so long. I have to actually turn to this. So I've kind of because it's like I'm always like, oh well, I need to like clean this thing, and I need to fix this thing on the house. I'm like, no, I just need to spend some time looking at this thing, even though it's intimidating, because I don't know shit about EM pins or EM games. So I've been learning myself a little bit about the EM. And so I plug it in, the score meter churns, just keeps going and it doesn't stop. So I checked all the fuses, and then did as I said, my post, I did, because I went ahead and threw this extra information in just in case someone's like, oh, I got a great idea for you. So and I think it's probably pretty common that for an issue for the score meter to continue to turn, because if there's nothing to tell it, hey, everything's reset properly, I think generally they tend to just keep going until they get the proper signal that everything's reset. So, but what I did a visual, and what I saw is mounted in the bottom of the cabinet, one of the things is a play meter. It's this total, it's like the coin counter basically, and it has just a couple plays
you got
on
it right there. Nice.
I do, right here. Yeah, because this comes with visuals, because I was trying to be interesting. I think we're close to, I think that's like 29,000, over 29,000 plays.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it's had a couple.
515.
Yeah, just
well, let's see, a 40, what is that, 50, 54 years old that thing is.
Yeah.
You said
yeah,
66?
because I think it came out in February of 66 is what they talk about.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be 54 years
66.
old.
66. Good year. Yeah.
Yep.
So 118,060 plays.
Carrie, what's the coin car setup on that? Quarters or nickels?
Yeah, so it's
that math does not work.
Actually, I don't know. I think it's quarters. But I'm not.
Could have been dimes. Back in '66, it would have been dimes, probably.
Yeah, it could have been dimes.
Yeah,
that's true. I actually don't know.
You know how much dime bake costs back in the day? A
dime.
But exactly. So
you know how much condoms cost back then? I don't know. We never used them.
So anyway, what I
baby.
So what I saw, I'm just going to keep going. Is that so? This is mounted in the bottom there, and it had coming out of it, there was like a little connector, and I can't, the photos in my post, but I don't know how to do that on here. But basically there was, I could see that there was essentially it's like 2 wires that should be going in there. We're down to a single strand, and only one was still connected, and it looked all sorts of. When I kind of looked in here, I saw that it was all melty.
Oh man, it looks so yeah.
It looks bad. So I
bad.
pulled it out. I was kind of messing with it, and the wire broke, and I'm like, I don't think that's any great loss, because I was looking in and I'm like, oh, this looks melty. So I managed to pull this thing apart. I don't know if I can actually, it might have snapped back in. So I can't pull it, but anyway, so it opens up, and inside this little box, I found this crispy
roasty
critter.
What is that?
It's a
coil.
coil.
It's a coil.
Oh,
It is. Yeah, this is what.
Wow, so that was driving the tumbler.
Yeah, so
Weird.
it's so I looked on the schematics, and it's a B, like I forgot what it is, like 6396 or something like that. And what that means is B is from the Williams information. It's that this is a bobbin style, so it actually screws into the back of this. This actually screws into the coin meter.
So there's like a worm gear on the inside of that or something.
I don't know. It just is a screw. I don't know what a worm gear is.
Don't jump ahead of us.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Actually, there's nothing in
a worm gear. Looks like a screw,
like a penis.
So
okay.
Really
well, yeah, because it. Yeah,
so it's just imagine a
But
gear.
it's like a really coarse thread, typically.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But it's like,
interesting.
Like the
a
thread.
worm,
I just thought it was a
gear,
screw.
Just imagine, like, rather than being like a threaded gear, like where it's like it does this.
Yeah.
It's like a screw that's very long and has the threads there, and that's actually worm gears is how most old odometers work in cars.
Oh,
it's basically a cross between. It's actually Acme thread in reality.
Yeah.
Well, the screw wasn't particularly long. I mean, it just seemed. I thought it was just a screw, but maybe it has something more.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, but if it's just supposed to sit there and just turn stuff,
and that gross worm gear equals screw.
Oh, I don't think it turns. No, this doesn't turn. It just screw this.
No, obviously that's a coil. Yeah.
So anyway, so maybe it's held in by a worm gear. I don't know. But
well, worm gear would be what was operating the numbers.
Oh, got
the number dials. Not
I
that.
see. Not this.
That would be attached to a worm gear
like,
inside if it were.
Got it. Now,
just like an old
now I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
I've had a couple of drinks, but I'm not being totally obnoxious yet.
You haven't fallen off your chair yet.
Let me open.
No. I thought that maybe like I just didn't quite understand.
Open too.
Yeah. So anyway, so apparently B is bobbin style, which I think is what I think that's with the like it's getting where the screw gets screwed in there because it's not. Anyway, so yes, this is bobbin.
So you found bobbin, Mr. Crispy,
and then and 63 apparently is the wire gauge, and then 96 is the number of times it's wound.
Holy shit! 63 is a thin fucking wire. If that's the gauge, holy shit!
It is really thin.
Which would make sense why the picture you showed me was so. Yeah.
So
like a hair.
Yeah, so there should be 2 that's attached, and it's just completely fucking melted. So I'm like, oh, cool. I just need to replace this coil. I know how to replace coils. That's awesome.
As soon as you learn how to rewind a coil.
Fuck you. Shut up. That seems to be the issue because I'm like, okay, let me just find this, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it anywhere. So. Shh, I don't want to hear that. That's not the answer I want. So that's why I posted on.
Quit being ahead of the game, dickweed.
No, I want him to be in the wrong game.
I'm wondering if it's just such an old game.
Let's get back to worm gears.
Pinside to say like be that. So a lot of people on Pinside would probably
winding a coil.
That's what I'm hopeful.
Coils are simple technology.
I've heard
electromagnetic.
So here's what you do, Carrie. Is your post say the name of your game in your title of your post?
Yeah, I do. It's already posted.
Because what could happen a year from now or something? Someone could do a search for that in the forum search, because that's how you can find threads. Like especially someone like, let's say someone out there buys one and they have one, or maybe they just like the game and they go, I wonder if anybody has one out there. They'll do a search on the forum searches, and then yours might pop up because you have that in the title. and then maybe a year from now you'll get a response going, "Oh yeah, I know
That's
what
gonna be
you're
way
talking
too fun. Then I can be like, oh yeah, no, I already got the answer to that because I'm not waiting a year.
I already
for
sold
someone-
it."
Oh no, I already got rid of that.
Right? Like if I don't get an
burnt it.
answer, if I don't get an
I pushed
answer
it off the roof.
on Pinside, I'll try it on Clav.
Yeah.
And then if I don't get an answer on Clav, I will contact. Remember that guy that I picked up that
The horseshoe
ball for?
game. Yeah.
No, not the horseshoe. I
Ringer.
picked up. No, not Ringer. I picked up the Zacharia pinball, and I showed it Space Force or something. I forgot what the fucking name of that thing was. And I showed it on the show like a long time ago. That's how I met Joel Gorble on Clav. Was he helped me move this pinball, and I did like a live thing or not, in the garage where I showed on air. Seabart will be able to track it, what show it
Yeah,
was. It
where
was
are
a
the
long time ago.
stats?
I did,
Which one?
but I just. You have it?
Which one?
When I picked up the pinball for the guy in Michigan, and if Gleek were here, he'd
What was
tell
the name
me.
of the pinball again?
Blake.
I don't remember the name of the pinball. I'd have to look back up in my pictures.
Okay.
Oh shit! I have to go way back for that one.
Yeah, it was the Zacharia.
You do know that's a 225-page Excel document.
Well, this will
tab
be within
document, right?
in under 100. This will be within the first 100. I'll actually probably be within the first 50 or 60. Actually, I can probably I can tell you the name of the pinball.
Give me a
There's a
year
guy
or a
on-
month.
there
I
is
might
a
be
guy
able to
on-
find it, but
I will
There's a guy
contact
on
him.
KLV
We expect
Okay.
more out of you, Seabart.
Seems like there's one guy on KLV. I swear he knows like a lot of the weird, obscure old stuff.
Three finger.
His
read
name's
between
like
the lines.
Kenny or Ken.
It's also the
he-
scout salute.
he
A
does
can? Fucking can.
The like the phone booth, payphone stuff. Like he knows all about those, but he knows like obscure, weird stuff too. I'm trying to think of the guy's name.
It's got to be a Dylan.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he might be one that might have some knowledge of it because he really knows like
Space
obscure
Team.
old stuff.
Space Team.
Space Team.
Space Team. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd seen an ad for the Space Team EM pinball, and this was back in January of 2016. And I was like, what is that? It looks interesting. It had a broken back glass. And so I did a search and was trying to find out more about it. And then I saw that there was this collector in Michigan who had said, who was obviously, he has a huge collection, museum-ish. He doesn't sell stuff. He has a site called pinrepair.com, which is an awesome site. And he had said, in the little blurb about it, because he catalogs all of these the old EM games and all the EM pins, he had said, if you have one for sale, let me know. And so I contacted him and I said, hey, not mine, but there's one on Craigslist, for whatever it was, like $200. If you're interested, just thought I'd let you, I see that you're looking for one, thought I'd give you, let you know. And he asked if I could pick it up for him, and then he would have it shipped out to him in Michigan. And so I did, but I needed someone to help me. So I moved the pin because it's off in North Bay. And so I posted on Clav, and that's when I met Joel, who volunteered to help me move this pin for this guy in Michigan whom I had never met. And I basically just did a favor for. So and his name is Clay, and yeah, he runs pinrepair.com, and he seems pretty awesome. So he doesn't really owe me, but I do feel like I can just contact him and be like, yo, Clay, remember me? Yeah. Remember that Space Team? And then he can help
favor.
Yeah, exactly. It's time to. I've actually asked him advice over the years. Like when I was picking this up, I asked like, oh well, kind of what's a reasonable price, things like that. So yeah, that's my emergency backup. But I'm trying to save Clay for when I'm really stuck. So I'm hoping that I'm not stuck originally, and I'm also hoping that this little asshole is what's causing my problems.
Terry,
Ken Layton. Yeah.
Terry, this is the guy I'm thinking of, Ken Layton.
Okay, yeah,
he
yeah.
used to know like obscure.
Oh my God,
old
that's a fucking He's an old school dude.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yeah.
This guy usually has
I've gotten
answers for,
stuff
like-
from Ken. It's been
Yeah.
years, but yeah.
I've chatted with Ken. We've messaged.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
he's a
might be
good
worth
dude.
a shot reaching out to him. He might know
Yeah.
about it, but
Yeah, good idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you've
Back
left
to
the
my
arcade.
There we go.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got
You're back. Oh, thank God.
He's
got
got
back
a
to the
little.
garage.
Got to go back to the pin lineup. Yeah.
He's got a Tron laser rematerializer. It just goes wherever he wants.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I mean, you're gonna burn the fuck out of that 6100 of that Tempest, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that
You
monitor's
gotta get
going-
some burn in there, man.
I don't even get what's going on
Yeah,
there.
Gak, you need to cap those like now before they completely fuck up.
Reach back and just punch the side.
All right. Spoiler: I got LCDs in all of them.
Oh,
All right. Nice knowing you, Gak. You're gonna get ejected. From this.
Yeah.
Do you have any Shinobi burn-in?
I have at least one game I know I had a Shinobi burn in it. I trying to think of which one it was. I know for sure I have one though with Shinobi
yeah,
burn.
Shinobi Burn's terrible.
Yeah.
That was last week's show. We were talking about
Yeah.
Shinobi burn-in.
Yeah. And then pack or mispack, that's always in.
Any G07, you're bound to have some sort of pattern burn.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Galaga, but mostly pack or mispack.
Yeah. Or the Hellfire that was in my missile command. Yeah, that burn is right across the screen.
I've got enough drinks in me to gamble now with my games.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm playing. I'm in the
Give me a
gauntlet
moment
here.
of silence for Jim's arcade.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Jim never.
Okay,
turns
that's
his
enough.
games on. Yeah, turn these
Yes.
off. Get some burn in there.
Yeah.
When you have guests come over, do you have them turn off the games when they're not playing them?
No.
Hey, turn that off when you're done. I don't want to get
Yeah.
burning on that monitor.
Actually, more like powering the games on and off is actually equally
It's scary
if not
every
more
time you turn it
scary.
on. Every
Yeah.
time I turn on my Robotron, I cross my fingers and go, "Oh, please power up."
Oh my God! Every fucking spring, it's toe curling.
Yeah.
Followed by so far, orgasm.
Mine's like all real old
Like,
shit in there.
I mean,
It's
but
all
like
old boards, old power supply,
Yeah,
all old
all my shit's like
everything.
totally brand new, dude. I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, totally.
No, seriously, it's like every time.
Which
like,
there's a
track
good
and
question.
field, like
Yeah.
this spring, like I turned everything on and I was like, boom! It all came to life, and I'm like walking around, and I'm sure the pins they always complain. I'm sure I have to figure out with those guys, but like I'm checking the vids and I'm like, play a quick game, make sure it works, and I walk over to track and field and it's fucking off, and I'm like, shit.
No.
All right, we have the one non-survivor of
Stinker.
the winter.
Yeah.
And then I realized, no, it was because last year we were doing the show, track and field is behind Circus Charlie, directly behind, because it's like a perfect Centauri.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It makes a beautiful Centauri little thing there because it's
Profile,
the same
yeah.
cabinet, or same profile. And I was like, oh, I turned it off because the attract mode is annoying. I hit the button up top, boom, came to life.
Yay!
And it was because of this show,
Yay!
because of this show of running the games in the background. I was like, oh, I had to turn the track.
That's a good question
Fucking
for
annoying
everyone.
sound off, but nobody can fucking
Everyone
see it.
here. Which games make you nervous when you power them on for the first time?
Oh, that's a good one.
Vectors, yes.
No, like
Which
just
one?
in general, because
yeah.
I think everyone
It's a
has a
history,
game
yeah.
where like it has a history where you're like,
Yep.
even though I've repaired this and I feel like I've bulletproofed it, even to this day, like there are certain games I can't wait for the
Yeah.
day that comes when whether I don't want to get like weird here, but like let's say me and Carrie move in together or something like that, and I pull all my games and I pull all my games out of storage.
Whoa.
This is a video. When I pull all of my games out of storage, there's about 8 of them, I think, 8, 9. Those games have not powered up. I have not powered them up since 2011. That's late. Might be even earlier than that. So it's
That's
been
a whole lot of storage fees.
9 over 10. Well, $80 a month.
Yeah.
But yes, it does add up.
Jim is only 15 minutes from the riots in Minnesota. A rocket go through his window. Ding, ding, ding. Hello, Carrie. I'm moving in.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
If I'm still telecommuting, it could be a possibility. Let's put it that way. So that will be a fun video because I've got of all those games, I'm trying to think in my head which I'm the most confident would still work. And I would say of them, I'm listening. I'm doing the math in my head. I've got Simpsons, Turtles. Those are K7000s. Okay, they're pretty reliable. And then I start going down the gauntlet. I've got a Geo 7 in my Centipede. The one that I think would be the most likely to at least work 100% would be my DK Junior, because for some reason I feel like the Nintendo monitors, like of all my games, I know that red tent's going to work every time. Like I feel so confident in it. K7000s.
Let me just qualify that real quick. I have 100% confidence in my red tent. I don't have 100% confidence in the monitors.
Oh,
I feel like the monitors are a bit of a ticking time bomb.
But you have a history already with that, though.
I do, and actually, I have a spare monitor sitting on the fucking shelf here. So waiting, a whole fully rebuilt, waiting just to get dropped into that fucking thing.
Just remember, part of my life essence is in your monitors.
Yes, you do. Yeah, actually, and the buttons. The reason why I have a complete set of buttons on my red tent is because of Jim Bodini. I don't know if it was on this one, but it was on one of the fucking three.
Well, one of your legs is holding up my red tent.
That's a good point. Yes, I have legs on yours.
We were organ donors for both of us. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, our red tents exist.
We have that. We pinky swear we're blood brothers.
Yeah,
on our red
I sent you Christmas.
Oh, that was the best care package ever. Well, except for the meat that Carrie sent me. That was
there. You go. Good save. Good save.
Yeah. No. I did not send you meat, much to my chagrin at this point.
I sent a card. Thank you, but please send meat.
That's right. I'm wrestling you. I'm wrestling.
I sent you some brandy in mine, didn't I? I gave you some like Pop Rocks and shit. Yeah.
I'm just saying, Carrie's meat game wins over my sweet game.
I mean, that's a Trump.
Nice.
I sent you sweets. She sent you meats.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Between us, we're a complete package
delicious.
or something.
It was
delicious.
It was so lucky though that we were doing these projects at the same time.
Yeah,
it was great timing.
That was the foundation of Jim and our relationship. Yeah,
it's the crux of it.
You've been going steady every Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. Mock's been on the waiting line for quite a while, but I mean, yeah.
I'm in the friend zone.
Oh, you don't want to be there. You can never get out of it.
Guinness out my nose when you said that.
But for me, the games, because it's always the history though of the games that you power up. Like which ones have had problems once or more than once, where because like the Marvel Madness. The thing about the K7s for me is that right away. If with those monitors, and that's for me, that's always the thing. It's always the monitor. It doesn't the PCB. I'm less worried about. It's usually the monitor that you're going to see the problem in right away. Like that's usually the first sign. And the nice thing about the K7s is that they boot up right away. They're the one of the first monitors that you see a visible picture on. Shut up, Blanca. Call out. So like Marvel Madness, Super Hang On. Well, let's see. The Vision Pros like Toki, Arkanoid. So the games that take a while to come on the screen, that's where the suspense is. Where I'm always a little bit worried. So usually anything with the Geo 7
kind of like fades in.
It's the Geo 7s, I think.
Yeah,
the
Geo 7s.
Those are a little bit
followed by 4900s.
I have a K. Yeah. What is it in the Robotron?
And 46s.
Gino, what's in the Robotron? A K what?
K4900?
49.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's a slow up here.
Warm up, yeah.
Slow warm up, yeah.
Geo 7s,
not bad,
46s, 49s, and then everything kind of Sanyos and the Sharp monitors.
They take a while to warm up, but they show a picture right away.
They show a picture pretty quick. Yeah.
Buffett's like all bored. I know all this shit.
But they take a little while to settle down.
Yeah, you know, we're not talking about
But for me, I'm listening for the high voltage.
Boring
and
monitor talk. I'm
You
sick of
immediately
monitors.
can
What
hear
he's
the high
saying.
voltage in those.
It's like y'all just need to shut up.
As
so
soon
you
as
can
I hear
me.
the high voltage, I'm like, you're good.
He knows his
Let's
shit.
talk about
move
Old
on.
Bay some more.
Geo 7s are so fucking quiet that I never know.
Oh, that's interesting because I've got a Geo 7 that is really loud. It snaps
interesting.
on.
Oh,
in my Centipede, when it comes on, it snaps when it comes on.
Oh, interesting.
time.
Because like every Geo 7 I've had, it's been quiet as fuck,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, what? So I'll like
And
walk
that one
away,
actually
I'll come
diesels
back.
when it shuts down too, because like when it shuts down, it goes click, 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 and then goes dead.
Whoa, I've never seen one. Or
Mine,
it's always had great
making a
picture,
crackling
no
sound,
issues.
and I shut it the fuck off.
I had a cold
Make
solder
sure you're-
on the inputs that I had to resolder, just reflow those, and the picture was would flake out sometimes. Reflow those, it was good. So I've never had a problem with it. It's been fucking rock solid, but it snaps when it shuts down, or sorry, it snaps when it starts up, and then it clicks slowly as it shuts down.
Make sure your DAG wire is good and clean.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
usually
I've
what that's
never
about.
massaged my DAG, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Make sure your DAG
if you-
wire.
yeah.
DAG wire. Make sure your
My
DAG
DAGs
wire
love a
is
good
You
massage.
might
And
might
make sure the
discover
focus-
something when you
The
do.
ground on the focus tower is good.
okay. I mean, it's never caused a problem.
That's
but-
right, folks.
but
You
that's the
you
twist.
thought that our arcade talk
that might
ended
be it.
early? No.
Nope.
Sometimes we bring
Yeah.
it back way
No,
late in the
Buffett.
show.
That's right.
You
But
never
we
know.
make it we make it slightly
Yeah.
dirty, so that makes all the difference.
We are the
it's
only
Talk
arcade
after
podcast
hours.
that has
Background.
a actual CRT god in our presence.
That's true. This is true.
On
Who's
a
actually one of
semi-regular
our
basis.
one of our original founders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
So,
has returned tonight at least?
yeah. He teases us with
If
his
we
Well,
made
we got Buffett
Mount
once in a while.
Arcade
We had
more,
Adam
Buffett
that one
would be
night.
on it.
I mean, shit, this pandemic's brought back all the crazies. No, I'm just kidding.
So what you're saying is Buffett is the yin to my yang.
Yes.
Kind of thing, right?
He's the
I can't do
lights.
shit
Yeah.
on
That's why we
monitors.
needed. Yeah, we. When you came on,
one night,
you needed to hit the show back
one
up.
night you need to pull like a floozy on us, and it'll be Dylan instead of you.
Yeah, there we go.
floozy? Wait a minute. What's a floozy?
I don't know. It's something in Cheyenne.
I was gonna say it's a Cheyenne thing.
The petticoat
reference.
floozies.
I've been trying to bring the word floozy back into like regular mainstream conversation for a long time.
Is that your goal?
I love floozy.
Awesome.
That's one of my favorite words.
I
That is
may
a
have
good
just
one.
been looking at Cheyenne, and that's a word that popped into my head.
Dude,
but, yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Because
that's awesome.
if that was just totally serendipitous, then yeah.
That's a
floozy.
great word too.
Let's work. Let's work serendipitous and floozy back into
Yeah.
music.
Welcome to the arcade hangout.
We might as
where
well bring
invent
on
our own,
Dame.
you know.
Let's get Dame
Hashtag
back in
floozy.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, floozy.
I'm not sure that's a great hashtag for our arcade hangout. Thanks.
What was the original one that we were laughing about? Was
If
it
we could
Zordon?
vote on
or-
that
yeah.
first.
Yeah, floozies
That's right.
and something else.
That's so floozy.
That's tough. How many votes
Zordon
did we get
floozy.
on that one? It's not fair.
Oh.
Oh shit. Are we?
Wait, I got a question.
Oh no.
Ooh,
All right.
Yeah.
Please.
You think Old Bay would be good on popcorn?
Yes.
What I was kind
No,
of
I totally
wondering that
mentioned
earlier.
popcorn.
Mark.
And bring
Yeah.
it back to
Straight
20
Yeah.
minutes ago.
It's great on popcorn
And
It's great
paprika.
in coffee.
It might be good.
It's great in tea. It's great on ice cream.
Oh my
I don't know
god!
about that.
I kid you guys not. Last night I turned on I was gonna watch a movie. It was like 1 a.m. right? Last night I turned on my TV, and
Andrew.
before I can even get to switching to my flash drive or a Blu-ray or whatever, my TV comes on, whatever's on the my digital antenna, my HD or whatever, and it's Dr. Oz, and he's talking about like what's the best popcorn, and it's a popcorn fucking thing where they're doing a taste test about popcorn.
I've kind of threw up in my mouth as soon as you said Dr. Oz. There's a little bit
Oh,
of
I know
vomit
it's
in
terrible.
there.
I mean, it's terrible, but oh, look at that. Scored.
Sorry, I just managed to pry it apart. I just thought I'd show off the inside
Giving
of my coin.
yourself a new high score. Gotcha.
Right? Yeah. I know. I wouldn't even. I was like, oh, other than to dust it, I don't want to actually accidentally change anything.
rolling back the.
So that's the countdown until the pandemic's over. Yeah.
It's interesting because I'm not even sure what.
So
How it actually changes.
I got one update.
Yeah. Ooh.
I finally. It's been about a year, but I finally did talk to Helicopter Jesus. He is still doing okay.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Well, he's Jesus, of course. He's cut. Is he? What's his next miracle he's going to pull off?
I know. I was going to say
we
he
could
needs
really
to show
use
up for
some.
he needs to show up for our Christmas episode, but it turns out actually he should show up for our Easter episode.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Christmas.
He's unfortunately in New Hampshire.
What's the next
so,
Christian holiday?
Right?
Still in search of a boonga boonga.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Friday. Good Friday,
Yes,
maybe.
oh yeah. He'll never let it go.
Friday's passed.
So
Oh,
hey,
Good
can I
Friday.
tell you? I actually just figured out how it works, and this I'm super excited. Sorry, no worm gear involved.
No,
So,
it doesn't look
yeah,
like it.
The coin. So how the coin counter works is because I accidentally just added 2 credits to it. So there's this little spring here, and I think what happens is when the coil goes off, it pulls this, and then that advances the score reel.
Oh,
Yeah.
so each score reel has a nub on it that advances the next year. So at 9, it pulls 0 forward.
Exactly. So it's actually this part. So when the coil goes off, that's what pulls. Isn't that cool?
It's a
Yeah.
ratchet
I
mechanism.
love it.
That's what it is. It's just a
So you
ratchet.
can basically reset the coin counter on that thing to like fucking 0, and sell it as home use only.
There you go. Totally.
That's right.
If you- if it was longer, you could
and
you
you
could
can
set it.
You'd be like, "Fuck, man, this shit's been in my house since 1952."
Yeah, right. It wasn't even made till 66, but I've had it there for that long.
That's right.
Look at it, and you can see the crispy critter when the coil melted. It got all gooby.
Yep. So the coil is just firing a little push down thing to make that little thing advance.
Yeah.
It's a ratchet
Cool.
mechanism. Is all it is.
Yeah.
Just a little,
Yeah.
It's like a pen.
A little rack and
Hot
pinion.
damn.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Can you set it to count Trump's lies?
Only if I can. And actually, if you look inside, you can see how crispy, how it got all fucking melty in there. Yeah, I can do that all, but only if I can find a replacement coil. Let's put it that way. Or
That's
if
cool
I
because
learn
like you
how
can
to-
see where the coil comes through the middle and just fires up and just shoots that thing to push it forward. That's cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's super cool.
That's engineering genius.
Yep.
It's fun. I have to say this: the EM stuff is pretty cool with the way that how much they
Clever.
managed to do. Right.
Clever. That's a good
Without-
word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This thing
really-
hits this thing and then makes it move that thing.
Right.
Right. It's proper
Actually,
engineering.
doing the same thing
Yeah.
as
You want to play the
lockout
game The
coil
Incredible Machine
on
by
a pinball
Sierra.
machine. It's the same
I remember
concept.
that.
I love those
Oh,
I
games,
didn't, I
those
didn't hear
puzzle
you say about it.
games.
They're
Yeah.
like,
You connect
It's the
these
same
gears to
concept
this.
as on a
and-
Williams
Just to
pinball
try
machine.
to execute
Yeah.
it.
Like
Oh,
Smash,
so it does the
Gorgar,
same thing.
etc. It's doing the exact
It's a
same
fun,
thing, but it
fun
just doesn't
series. The
count
hard
every time it
levels
goes
are
on and off.
ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got
But
frustrated.
it's the same
Yeah, that
concept.
makes sense.
It's
I
just
can't
pulling
do the
whole
hard
mechanism
difficulty.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Either releasing it or pulling it towards it.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. it's the
That's
same-
so
same
cool.
concept.
Yee.
Yeah.
All right. Geek out.
Yay!
Okay, I'm done.
Excitement. Cool. I like it.
I like it.
And this one's
Carrie's
for
gonna be in
you.
the garage
As you
rolling
can
back
see,
the
it
fucking
looks
odometer on her
fantastic.
car now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Right. Well, the thing of it is that
It's
I
like
just,
so
it's
easy,
like,
Just
I
let the
can't-
cable
like, I
into
just-
the drill
I
there,
can't.
reverse, and
But the fact of the matter is, let's face it, I can't because like this game deserves every credit that it gets. Like I feel badly that I've just added 2 credits on that it didn't actually
Well, you'll
ever
have to
get
play
played.
games.
Disconnect it, play the game twice, and you're good.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Although, yeah, although I'm hoping that having this disconnected is what's causing my score meter to keep running and running and running. Because otherwise, I will have had fixed my coin meter, and then I'll still have a game I can't play. So
Well,
Why
it's
can't
not,
you
but your
grow an
coin meter
ass?
will work.
Sorry. All of a sudden, I was like, I gotta play the Buffett
Wow,
song.
that
She's
was
on
like
it.
off-topic Buffett.
It's been a minute.
Jeez. Trying to
That's
fix
rude.
the old
No,
machine.
Wow, you're a real asshole,
wasn't that a
Buffett.
little
Kick him
personal?
off the show.
Jeez. Yeah.
You don't talk that way to a lady. Kick that guy off.
That's right. But you do to a floozy, which I am not.
You're treating Carrie like a floozy.
Bunch of,
Exactly.
Looks fantastic.
you're all a bunch of fucking
Nice.
floozies.
Everybody,
Yeah.
today's
Carrie.
word is floozy.
Yeah, exactly.
Floozy.
The floozy
Brought to
You
you
use
by
he
the
that.
letter-
Right.
In
brought to
every
you by the letter
conversation.
F.
That's all right. Don't trust Buffett because he used to be skinny.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not skinny.
Surprised I'm skinny.
Sorry, Buffett, you ran into the gauntlet of late show.
You know,
Buffett, you got to treat our floozy with respect.
Thank you for the Old Bay. I still use it every fucking week.
Hey, it's good stuff. Hey, that's
It is. It is. It lasts forever.
Yeah. I use that shit in
if you only
fucking
use
Bloody
it-
Marys.
Yeah, if you only use a little sprinkle at a time, it
Bloody
lasts for a long
Marys.
time. I go through the restaurant style, containers, but that's just me.
The industrial strength.
I'm gonna try it like Gold Bond.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure that would be the opposite effect.
Yes,
I got
Probably.
a 1 pound 8 ounce jug here.
It hurts
That's
in
what
my
I got.
pee hole.
It's like it's on fire.
Yeah,
My a-hole, my pee hole.
It burns.
my salt
My
shaker
G-hole.
says 1 pound 8
But
ounces
it's
on it. That's
tasty.
how much I use.
No, seriously, honey, come here, taste it. It's sweet. It's spicy.
It's like salmon.
No, it doesn't work.
Oh man.
So who's done some arcade shit this week?
Nice segue. That's smooth. Well, no,
Working on
other
it
than
tomorrow,
posting my
I was
video,
saying.
My Geo7 chassis to Buffett.
I'm currently working on the mold video.
Can we make that the title of the show? Old Bay burns my pee hole.
Oh, I remember when we used to have show titles.
Show titles are fun.
They were fun.
Gino actually suggested to me in a PM what the show title for
Where,
last week.
where'd Gino go?
Oh,
Oh,
what
he's
was
right
the-
there.
Okay.
Okay.
What was it? I forgot. What was what I suggested last
You,
week?
you know, you
No,
click
it
the little
was
blue arrow, he shows
Oh,
up.
the kill
You
shell.
dropped that puppy off at a kill shelter.
Yeah, that would have been the title for the show.
Oh,
Jackie
right, that was
missed
a good
out.
line.
Yeah.
that was a
All
good
right, I
line.
gotta listen back on that one. Oh man.
You made me
other
laugh
than-
proper.
no.
The next morning, I woke up and I got that PM from Gino, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Well,
I forgot he
apparently,
even said that.
apparently, Brad was doing a pickup today or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on in a while. And he has
Yeah.
he could
Hopefully
have been
next
on
week.
all this time. What's going on with him?
He should have been playing Left 4 Dead
Well,
with us.
he's
He's trying to
got
find a
he's got
king
murder
excuse.
hornets in his area apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's right.
I wanted him to post a picture of that. I would like to.
I would
see that.
instantly start ordering praying mantises and scatter them all over my house because those things eat murder hornets like their
Do they?
breakfast.
Ah.
Yeah, they
And they're
love
cool
those
too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool looking and they'll eat from murder hornets like tasty.
Well, that's kind of like you want to have like centipedes in your area because they take down a lot of other like infestive insects. But
A lot of
so
people
they're
like
good
to release
predators.
skinks in their house too, because they eat all the little bugs.
Oh, skink lizards? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
My house
they're
is
good
full
to
of
have around.
Skanks, floozies.
Yeah, you know, way to bring it back. Yeah.
At least floozy sounds cleaner.
The floozy lizards.
I hardly have any bugs, but I have herpes.
Well, yeah.
Exactly. That's the skank lizard.
So yeah, but arcade related. If we want to get, I am working on my video, my next the video about making the mold of that 3D part.
And that will take how many hours to edit?
Not that long. It's mostly the intro that will take the longest because everything else is going to be time lapsed.
I hope it has a happy ending because I'm watching the series. It better end great, like Game of Thrones. Well, that didn't end great, but how about like Breaking Bad? Does your series end good like that?
Oh, my
No,
pinball video will end well. Carrie was out here last week and she got to play Wonka with all the mods and how it is.
It's
I'm trying to guess the
gorgeous.
ending.
Yeah, the part 4 is pretty simple. It's
how many parts are we looking forward to here?
I have one more.
So 5.
So 4.
Oh.
3 was just released.
Yep. All right, so 4 is the next one, last one.
4 will be next Monday, and that's the end.
Well,
That's,
geez, at least I watched Jim's videos.
Yeah,
I watched
it
them.
says at the end
I know there's
to be
only 3.
concluded. Yeah.
I watched Gak's hamburger making burger time action.
No, next
Arts and
part
crafts
4.
with Gak.
Well, you must have a lot of free time on your hands to watch that shit.
I watch it while I'm pooping.
Boner.
Do you?
So I'm like the number one poop
channel.
Pooping, I'm the number one channel, right? Literally number one. And the number one.
The longest arcade.
It's okay, Jim. Everybody missed. Go ahead, Buffett.
That's all right. They have time. Like it's
you
like
just
YouTube
dropped
Punk.
the last one. So
Yeah, I did on yesterday. Yep.
Yeah,
part
so I haven't
three.
watched that one yet, but
yeah,
I will.
part 3. There's a lot of shenanigans in that one.
Get a shout out.
Yeah, Carrie gets a shout out.
Oh yeah, this is the one with the pop up. What we were thinking.
Graphic,
right?
What were they thinking?
Yeah.
Yep.
All you got to do is wait for part 4, and then on the other episodes, just watch the first 5 minutes because he does a recap.
Mark, it's funny you say that because I was just telling Carrie.
Will you do a part 5 recap that's like that?
I was telling Carrie,
Like,
did I not tell you this over the weekend?
Like 5
Last
minutes because
yeah.
No, I literally told Carrie over the weekend. I was thinking about this after I started doing the recaps of my episodes. I'm like, if people didn't want to watch my videos for very long, they could just watch the 2, because every video after the first part has a 2-minute recap.
Yep.
2 minutes on almost exactly 2 minutes of what I did the previous video. So you could just watch that.
8 minutes.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah, but you miss all the fun.
Well, no, 100% though. But like,
but it's true. If you're,
but really,
you
if you do, like, if you have
Yep.
you have a short
You're in a
attention
hurry.
span, you just
So,
yep.
Jimbo,
Which
I have
is
a
most
legitimate
people
question
nowadays.
related to your last video. I did watch
Tempest is still frozen.
almost the whole thing.
Oh.
So going back a few
I'm
years
sorry.
ago, John Jacobson did a similar thing, I think, where he put the side art on the inside on the pinball, right?
Yeah, the blades.
Oh, the
he
art,
did.
art
Okay.
blades.
He did-
yeah.
I think he did that on his Ghostbusters, maybe.
Yep, it was Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Yep.
So I like mentally I'm saying like the same thing like out loud when I saw his video, when I saw yours. Like it must be a lot more difficult than I'm picturing, but couldn't you completely remove the playfield like from the machine?
It's not as easy as that.
It's a hassle and it's heavy as
Yeah,
fuck.
So
and it's
that's-
actually there's a lot of wiring.
You need
harnesses.
you need at least one other person too.
If you had one other person, it would actually not be too bad because with
So
Ghostbusters,
if you unplug like 8 or 10 harnesses, I don't know how many, and then a second person, you could completely pull the playfield.
You
Well, so
don't
if you
want
pull
to
the-
lay the bottom of that on.
No,
most
because
of the
it's
people
awkward.
I've seen that have removed the playfields have actually lifted it out and set it like on a table or something aside, and they have like extensions for it. It's not, they can't detach it.
No,
or
it's-
they
it's-
or they
The
don't. I
harnesses
should say.
are not.
It's all Molexes. You can definitely remove it
Okay.
to pull the whole thing.
It's a hassle.
What John did or talked about, I think, was basically pulling the playfield up and then lifting it further and then twisting it 90 degrees and then setting it back down basically into the cabinet.
It's been a couple of
To
years.
put-
I don't
Well,
remember
he
exactly.
talked about that being a possibility, and I think you can do that. But when it comes right down to it, you really want to have a second person to help you install pin blades. Yes, you can totally do it by yourself. I did
It
it
just
on
seems
Judge
like
Dredd.
if it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
like
did it.
It's
completely
possible.
difficult, if you could completely remove the plate.
It's easier with 2
Then you
people. I
can-
helped
yeah,
Keith
it's
on a
much
few of
easier,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched 3 different videos about single people doing the pin blades.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them had different approaches to it. One person did the wet method where they
Well,
sprayed it all down.
I did that too.
Yep.
You can move it around a little easier.
Yeah.
But
I found that with the art that I got from Tilt Graphics, it's got the Aerograss stuff. It's very easy to reseat it. My mistake I made on the left side was that I did not I should have just used my pin blade protectors like I did the second time around, where I showed the mistake I made. Shut up.
You know what was
Okay.
weird on yours, Jim, is that yours didn't have the hole punched out for the bolt.
Nope.
And mine did.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, mine did. So that helps as a guide. Excuse
Yeah.
me, as a
Oh,
guide, too.
absolutely. It's like a CPO. Sometimes you get
Right.
it with them die cut, and sometimes you don't. It was the
Yeah.
same thing. I got really lucky though when I fucked up the left side, and I emailed Tilt Graphics, and I'm like, can I just buy the left side? 'Cause here's the thing, I fucked it up. Can I just buy the left side so I can redo it? And he's like, yeah, $25 plus shipping. It ended up being $30. He sent me the whole fucking set.
because
they're
that's how
connected.
how
It's easier.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
connected that way. Yeah.
But
Well, I'm sure they probably print them as pairs. So
Yeah.
for the
yeah.
Yes.
bucket, like
One sheet.
yeah.
Die cut.
But
And,
but I was so grateful. Like I'm like,
but if you're already doing a die cut, fucking cut the circle in. You know, they're already die cutting it. It doesn't make sense that it doesn't. But
yeah, and like when I got them, I looked at these videos and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna treat this like arcade side art because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
and
no,
so
you did it
that's
the
why
right way. You did it the right way.
Is
That's the best way to do it. Your method, actually.
The right side, I should have started with the left, honestly, because the right side was way easier than left because there was more of a space between the play field. But you know, I like showing. For once, I got to show my mistake and be like, here's what happened. Like everything that went along the way, I have no regrets because it's like I pulled a John Jacob. That's like
you need a John
if
Jacobson card.
If I was John Jacobson with editing and production skills, that's what I would have, you know,
left it all in.
Yeah.
But wait, that's you with lighting and editing skills.
Yeah. So I could, if I had done if I was John, every video that I had posted right now up to this point, you'd be watching 15 hours. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Film yourself
and maybe some stuff on the road,
office,
driving to pick up things. Yeah.
Yeah, drive the post office.
We need to. Yeah, we need to see like
graphics.
some. Well, but you're not in the Northeast, so
actually, I take that back. It'd be a 10-part series right now.
Yeah, 10 parts. Show yourself driving home. Get out of the car. Go in the house. Take a shit.
Hey guys, we are on the toilet.
Make yourself a sandwich.
And today,
all right, hey guys, now we're gonna put on the pin graphics. Oh, wait a minute.
But you know what? I can't.
First, we're gonna go to the grill and make a.
I'm gonna make a hamburger Gak style with a cheese.
It's easy to make fun of him
with a
but
broccoli
the fact
bun.
is, he hasn't made a video in what, like 6 months, and he still has eight times the subscribers I've got. So like, why can't shit on him that much, you know?
No one's really shitting on him.
We're just thinking we're having fun.
We're friends with him, but like 6 months, dude. It's been like 2 years. Since
So
John's
yeah,
put out a video, right?
I'm curious to know. Yeah, I'd like to see how his arcade stuff's going with the barcade.
But I'm still subscribed to John. I am not still subscribed to Joe.
No, I did. I remember like actually reaching out to John and texting him about like trying to get him to join the Thursday night game night.
Oh,
like, dude, John, let's fucking like, yeah, you're gaming. I get it. You're doing like the PC gaming.
How about you
we're
think
playing
we can get
PC
him to a movie night?
You want to like hang out with us and do some PC games? And he's like, nah, Thursday's a tough night for me. And that's like,
John, you want to watch a movie with us?
Yeah. In other words,
Saturdays I could always invite him to
Imagine that, Jimbo. If he has like a couple drinks too many, like we're like, well, I've been not making him either, but get like 20 minutes into the movie, he busts out the guitar and just starts riffing stuff.
Like, and we're basically doing like
slobbing on knobbies.
Yeah, we're
John, do you remember this greatest hit?
Yeah.
I do like that that part of the best doing the musical best of.
Didn't he have like a racist song too? He would do.
Oh, just one.
Yeah. I seem to remember something like that.
Yeah.
And Sean enjoyed a couple of those. Actually,
revisit that shit, but
the Negro Lover.
That's what it was. Oh my god!
Thank you for go ahead and just throwing us.
That
bit. Because now is exactly the right time to bring up that song.
Yeah, I know.
Well, hey, it wasn't our song.
That was on our channel.
Yeah, we barely
we
know
weren't
that
even
person.
born yet.
We only talk about floozies on here.
That's right. And skinks.
Old Bay.
An Old Bay. Bay, which is basically some sort of phonetic for...
And Kinder's.
there's Dave.
Forget that, the Kinder's buttery steak stuff.
There
Or
we
whatever.
go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that on my burger.
Hey, Dave.
Lipton
I
soup,
gotta ask
mix,
you a
salt,
question.
pepper, and I'm good to go.
Dave, can you hear me? Are you good?
Yes, I can.
Sword
yes,
on.
I can. Can you hear
Have
me?
you watched
Where are the
the
putties?
Daniel who's the big poker player? Negraro?
Negrano.
Have you watched his master class?
No. But I've been watching a lot of poker. I don't know why it keeps showing up on Facebook, and I'm watching all these great hands, in which I'm getting a boner every time I watch them. It's so much fun.
I was telling Carrie, I started watching because I'm trying to get like, I've never been this way when it comes to poker. Like I know the basic principles. And like when I play with my friends, I can do pretty well. But ever since with you fuckers, now I'm like I kind of want to get like I'm not serious about the game, but I want to improve. And so I started watching his series of videos, and it's blowing my mind. Like I knew that this game can get really deep, but the whole thought process, and it's so intriguing how deep that game can get with the thought process, with what's going on, with what you're doing, with the range of values and the range of like what this person's playing, where your position is on the board. And it's intriguing to me. I've never like dove into that. And now to like get it from perspective of like a top player in the world is it's fun. It's fun to learn. Not that I'm going to get any better, but it's very intriguing to me. It's very interesting.
No, you do get better in our little virtual poker game. You and Gak, who's the best player in our game?
Well,
who do you think?
He calls himself this though, so I don't want it to sound bad. The Mexican.
Well, no, yeah, because he's Mexican. Yeah, he is, because he plays a lot.
He refers to himself as the Mexican, and the Mexican always smokes everyone, pretty much.
Yeah. He's
like 3 out of 4 times he places top 2, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, and he plays more. And
but it's also really tough to study players online because we're playing online. And to me, it's a lot more difficult to study someone, to like pick up tendencies when you're not in person. You can't. It's not the same, and especially where he's not even in our Zoom chat.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
it's betting patterns. Like he always has me. He knows when I'm full of shit and I fold like I'm just a weakling. He knows.
He's also a very, very aggressive player, though. Too.
Yeah, those are the successful ones. A lot of times,
not always.
Ones are,
I have players. I have friends that are very aggressive players, and they usually either win really quick or they lose really quick.
Well, he's got a combination of it because he knows he's getting to know us, and he's controlling us.
But no, absolutely. I watch you guys. You guys played. You guys played over this weekend like 10 games. No, wait. You guys played a ridiculous amount of games. Cause I remember Carrie was over here this last weekend, and I was observing your games, and I'm like, holy shit, they're playing another. And I was like, they're playing another. Holy shit, they're playing another. It was like 6 games, and I was watching the stats, and I'm like, wait. Dave's not played, Gak's not played, but they keep playing. I'm like, that's an expensive night. Holy shit. They're like playing like 8. They're like down like, because that's to me, that's an expensive night. Like, I don't want to be down more than $20 a night. That's just how I set a cap. But like I'm like, holy shit, $80, $40, $60. And I saw Mexicano was like, he won the first like 2. And then I think he placed like the last game or whatever. You guys played like 5 games. I was like, holy balls! I keep playing. This is a Sunday night. Does no one have to work on Monday?
Yeah, but if you like walk away with like $250, like sure, I'll play another game.
Well, yeah. If you're in the lead, but if you're not,
yeah. Which is me. Never.
No, you should try once because then you'll.
If I had to
guess, I've never won a game of poker in my life.
If I had to guess, like Dave overall wins a little, and myself, I would probably be about broke even. Except for I've done a few games where I offer my son if he wants to play, and I pay his entry fee, and then he loses almost every single time.
The first 3 weeks that I played
because my son.
The first 3 weeks that I played with these guys, I was mostly breaking even. I felt pretty good about that. And then it's like this last like back half, I've been on a slump or I just suck. And I've and I have not, like, I'm like maybe fourth.
You start
fifth.
too late.
I'm
That's the
usually
problem.
I'm not in the bottom by no means, but I'm usually but I'm not making into the money. So like I have to like play that in, well, how much money do I want to lose? Or how much, but it's fun because it's like I'm trying to learn too at the same time, improve a little bit, but you're playing the same people. So that's great grounds for also learning because you're trying to read tendencies.
100%. I have to go. I got to go, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, let's all
at
go.
8 p.m.
Yeah, it's late.
Let's shut this down. It's
Well, we covered every topic.
I know.
we've done
Poker, cards, arcade stuff, politics,
Old Bay.
Rye seasonings, and
That's right.
Bay, monitors,
cheese skirts.
Cheese skirts.
This is
You
the
never had
most
any
well-rounded
cheese skirts,
episode
try
we've
them
ever
out.
done.
all right. So I don't know what you guys
Long time.
signed up for, but like this is a big episode. We covered a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So
We covered everything.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
balls.
Let's go ahead and shut this down.
What number is
Right.
this?
This is
Are we-
225.
Thanks for joining us,
Wow.
everybody.
Of season 1.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
Please join us on Twitter with your Old Bay recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
IRC. Let's do a quick
Here.
shout out. IRC. So obviously we've got our perennial Necros.
Necros
We've
and-
got
I didn't see Gabriella today.
I saw Jake V.
Gabby was on earlier. We got Jake V,
Jake.
who's like one of our big fans
He's
for
the-
doing game night, which
movies
by the
and
way, we do
games.
game night on Thursday night and movie night on for Saturday nights. If you
Yeah,
want to
Gak,
know
you
more
gotta
about
join
this,
us on movie
I
night.
know.
join us for that shit because
Fucking
that's
Dave.
fucking amazing.
I don't know what movie we're gonna do this time. I think
I don't know, but I've got
Evil
some
Dead
ideas.
2 and Army of Darkness, maybe. I don't know. Didn't we talk about a few things?
Well, yeah, and I want to do a Coen Brothers night too.
Oh, okay.
So, Raising Arizona.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so Mock hasn't seen Raising Arizona, so that's one of my next votes anyway.
I want to see
So
it. now.
we're doing movie nights and we're doing game nights. So PC
I want to
game
get back
nights-
to the horror movies. Yeah.
We'll get there, dude. We have time, dude.
Actually,
All right, so-
I really
I
did
would
like
lean
kind
towards
of.
that too, Jimbo.
I
Yeah.
really had. Well, Gak, you don't even join us. What
I
are
know.
you talking
I know.
about?
He doesn't
Once or
Right.
twice.
Ye-
I'm sorry. Yes.
I
don't have a voice.
Top Secret in the airplane was a blast. I have
That
to
was
say.
a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Lewis Arcade Danger joined us tonight.
Oh,
We
cool.
did.
got,
Okay.
I didn't see him.
Um,
Oh, there.
Gabriella.
obviously, Night
Catfish.
Flyer is obviously like one of our major. hosts.
He's a regular. Yeah.
Yep, he's a regular.
Yeah.
Just zooming up.
YouTube
here.
Punk.
YouTube
see.
Punk. Thank you so much for your
Oh,
feedback.
Yep.
8-Ball
Helping
Paul.
us. 8-Ball Paul. Yep.
He's super nice. He's got really good connections with parts and shit. I got
Arcade user 15. I don't know who you are, but
Yeah.
Is that the same
Can-
Paul from
Can you
Texas?
get me a B6396?
Still trying to figure out who Satanic Bot is, but
Satanic.
Satanic Bot.
anything that responds
Glee-
with bot is
That's Gleek's
bot.
alter
Yeah.
ego that he programmed.
There
That's
you go.
his. That's his clue. That's his clue from Tron. Is the
Yeah.
Satanic bot.
Yeah.
It's his evil
Yeah.
side.
Venom was making jokes. We've got Catfish, of course, who's talked before, and he and I have like fucking argued about like the fucking IP of this show, but like whatever. So yeah, thank you all for joining us in IRC
On
We
this
do
crazy,
this
silly
live
show.
every fucking week, and then we do two other things besides this shit every other week.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
is
so
fun.
if you don't know us, join us in our Discord channel. If you don't know where our Discord channel is, find us in IRC,
How do they get a hold of you
Oh,
to join
zing.
our Discord?
which
Discord?
is posted in YouTube, I think.
Yeah, it's all connected.
And everyone's welcome to join us. So yeah,
so
we
you got to go. So you got to go to YouTube to get the to get the IRC to go get our Discord channel. So
we can't make
just
this
saying,
shit fucking easy because the thing
We
is,
don't want schmoes in there.
yeah. So yeah, if you're
we
if
want
you're a true-
fans and people
if
that
you're
like
a true
like-
fan,
Yeah, people
You'll
that like
figure it
Girls
out,
that will
right?
show their butts,
yeah. If not, PM me on Clav.
not censored.
I'm not going to tell you my name, but
No floozies.
PM me on Clav. And
Oh.
We want
I'll
old
send
day
you-
lovers only.
I'll send you-
All right, here we go.
we'll send you pictures of floozies. Oh, shit. Now we're out.
Yeah.
See you next week. We'll see you on Thursday for gaming.
Yay! I won't be there because I can't play
Tonight.
Left 4 Dead.